All right, guys, welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new. Let me actually adjust my camera a little bit here. Probably should have done that before I went live, but yeah, thank you guys for being here. Sorry, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh boy, I'm so sorry. Yep, I just realized what happened. I apologize. Oh shit. Not a great waste. Oh my god. Serious apologies to anybody who is wearing headphones. I am sorry. MBG just rocked my living room in the middle of the night. I'm sorry, dude. Oh, I don't know why my gain was turned up like that. That must have been accidental. Oh man. Oh geez. Not a great way to start. I'm sorry. I feel so bad. Because that was probably so ridiculously booming loud. Just hear me screaming, "All right, guys, welcome back." I had to make sure to wake everybody up, man. Oh, all right. Well, that's corrected. I apologize. For some reason, oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to like give a warning or something when this stream's done. The mic is fixed now. That's the first time I think that's ever happened. I don't know why my mic gain was turned up like that. You're saying it was basically static? Okay, well, all right. All right. And we got Corey coming in. Corey Lendega, the god of memberships, coming in with a 20 bomb right off the bat. Corey, thank you so much, man. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. W's in the chat for Corey. Let me know if the soundboard is working. Actually, since that's a 20 bomb. Corey Lendega, bro. Constantly putting in work here with gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Guys, anybody who is in the chat right now, if you are new here or maybe if you don't have a membership, be sure to click Corey's name at the top of the chat and opt in to be allowed to be gifted memberships. Corey Lendega is crazy with gifting memberships. We have a lot of individuals here on the channel that are incredibly generous and just continually gift memberships over and over again. They're very nice. And we got Maximilian Pegasus gifting a total of 6 memberships. Actually, he did gift one earlier, but now he's dropping another 5 bomb. Guys, just like that, you immediately crushed the goal. You crushed the goal. I came in with a booming mic, and you're like, sorry, MBG, before you can even correct that, we have to crush the goal. Nick Exley, which I'm pretty sure is Exley 3000. I'm pretty sure Nick Exley is Exley 3000. Nick, thank you so much, man. Another 10 bomb. You guys are incredible. You guys are absolutely incredible.
Holy shit.
As soon as I get the stream started, you guys were like, let's get a membership train going. And Hellbound 1981 as well. Hellbound with a 5 bomb of his own.
You're breathtaking.
Yes, it's just like this is how it is at the beginning of these streams anymore, man. You guys just get a train going. I have to adjust this already. We're already at 41 memberships, guys. 41 memberships. That is wild. Wow. Let me correct that. You're gonna hear a bunch of sound bites play. Exley, Corey, Hellbound. Thank you guys so much. I mean, at this point, screw it. Just so I don't have to keep updating it.
We're gonna have the games do our talk.
You get nothing. You lose.
Dangerous to
Good
rely
day,
on
sir.
camouflage as an absolute indicator of performance.
Enough from me. You're all breathtaking.
I'm just putting it up to 75 so I don't have to keep updating it. We got Waters. Waters, welcome aboard. Waters choosing to become a channel member choosing to support me month over month on top of all of the gifted memberships. Huge shout out to you, Waters. Welcome to the channel. Welcome aboard. I hope you look forward to your exclusive member only perks. Really appreciate that, guys. We are at 43 members. 43 members on the day, and it hasn't even been I mean, really, it says it's past the 10-minute mark, but 5 minutes of that was for the credits roll. So as soon as we get this stream started, you guys get a train started. Love to see it, man. Love to see it. Thank you guys so much. Maximilian, Nick Exley, Hellbound, Corey Lindega. Huge, absolutely huge support. Amazing. So if you want to keep that train going, by all means, guys, you continue to do so. I'm going to let you guys know what we're going to be talking about over the course of the stream today. I have to admit, things have slowed down quite dramatically. I'm sure many of you guys have noticed this as well. I think it's mainly because Zelda came out. I mean, you know, things were really beginning to bubble up, and then it seemingly just all got quiet. Everything just calmed down because Zelda came out. We got Waters coming in with a 20 bomb. What?
Holy
What is that?
shit.
What is that? Waters just became a member. And then decided, let's drop a 20 bomb. That is incredible. That is huge.
You're all
That is
breathtaking.
absolutely huge. Oh my God, you guys are insane. Seriously, thank you guys so much. That is awesome. Waters, massive shout out to you. You just brought us up to 63 members on the day. 63 members. Like it's nothing. You guys are insane. You guys are absolutely insane. Massive shout out to you, Waters. Thank you for becoming a member, and thank you for dropping that 20 bomb. Pretty much, I think almost like everybody here is a member, or we have so many members, guys. We're unbelievably close to hitting the 3,000 membership mark, that is mind-blowing to me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Of course, in the coming days and weeks, some people's memberships are likely to expire, but at the rate you guys are going, it's really not going to matter. That's insane. Waters, you're saying been viewing for like 4 years. Don't quote me on that, but the early days, that is crazy. I would have never known, Waters. I appreciate that. You're just kind of coming out today. You're like, you know what? Let's show some support. So I really appreciate that. I don't want to keep going on. I know I don't want to keep going on. I know people, they say spend too much time focusing on the members and the membership gifts, but surely you understand. I mean, hitting like 63 members, within just a couple minutes of the stream starting is absolutely huge. So I'll give you guys just one last big thank you. Love to see it. If you guys want to keep it going, by all means, do so. I'm going to run down the topic list and let you guys know some of the stuff we're going to be talking about today. I'm sure you have a pretty good idea of it based off of the, just based off of the title alone. But some people might not know. And also, a lot of people were mentioning like PT showing up at the PlayStation Showcase, and Corey Lindega, bro. Corey's like, oh, what's that MEG? You want me to keep it going? I'm going to keep it going. Corey keeping it going, man, with another 10 bomb. With another 10 bomb. Corey, that's like 30, bro. That's like 30 memberships. Holy shit, dude. Oh my God. That brings us up to, I just fixed it. That brings us up to 73, guys. 70, we're pretty much 3/4 of the way to 100 members. Topic starting soon. Yes, the topic's going to start. It is. But huge shout out to you, Corey. Corey keeping it going. All right. I got to move on. I know. You guys are wild. You guys are absolutely insane. But thank you guys so much, man. Really, that is very, very kind. Topics we're talking about today. PlayStation partner studio issues. We have some very, very bad news, unfortunately, for one of the AAA studios that Sony is partnered with, that being Deviation. Excuse me. I might have some issues today. I'm still recovering from my sickness, so apologies if I sound a little bit hoarse. Jeez. I said, dude, people in the chat are gonna freak out, man. I keep seeing people saying, "Get to the topics, talk about the topics," and you see these guys. Actually, Nick actually comes in with another 10, and then Waters comes in with another fucking 20 bomb. What? Oh my god, dude! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't even know where we are now. We are at 103. Holy shit. 103, guys. Let's just all right, I'm going to move on. I'm going to get to the topics. Let's just get some W's in the chat. Let's get some W's in the chat for everybody who's gifting. They're incredibly generous. I am fan funded. I literally I probably wouldn't be streaming today if it wasn't for that type of direct support. So, let's just get one more sound right here. You guys are incredible. That is wild. Let me update the member goal and we are going to move on to the topics. All right? Let me see. At this point,
We're gonna have the games to ourselves. Enough from me.
anybody who just gifted a ton of memberships, please do not be offended or anything as I move on to the topics. People want to hear the topics, but you guys know who you are. Thank you for your support. You want one Arnold? All right, I'll give you one. Love to see it, man. Holy shit. Absolutely crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. Okay. Deviation Games. Deviation Games. This is a AAA studio that it's not a PlayStation first party studio. Okay? It's not a first party studio, it's a partner studio. And there is some very bad news regarding the studio because it seems like this game, well, I'll be honest, this game it has to be canceled. It has to be canceled. We have a report from VGC. I'm just going to dive right into it here because I know you guys were waiting patiently as we got through the memberships. PlayStation-backed Deviation Games hit with layoffs. PlayStation-backed studio Deviation Games has been hit with layoffs, with sources telling VGC as many as 90 members of the staff may have been affected. Several now ex-employees of Deviation have announced their departure on social media, with software engineer Kyle Paris, I think that's how you say his name, writing that my studio recently ran into a difficult situation and was forced to make a number of layoffs, which I was part of. VGC has reached out to both Sony and Deviation for comment and will update the story when we receive a response. In September of last year, one of Deviation Games' co-founders, Chief Creative Officer Jason Blundell, left the studio. The studio is developing an original IP which will be published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Deviation was reportedly over 100 strong in 2021 when it signed the deal with Sony. At the time of writing, the studio is not currently advertising any open roles. We're drawing on what we've learned over our collective decades making games, but we're also out to make something fresh and brimming with innovation like you've never experienced before. This is what Anthony told the PlayStation blog in 2021. We're not afraid to say that our ambitions are super high. We're setting out to make a huge content-rich game with a focus on a lot of action and a lot of energy, but let's leave it at that for now, and hopefully it won't be too long before we can share more. Now, again, what I just read, that was in 2021, and so yeah, this is a pretty bad situation for Deviation Games and for anybody who was like myself very much looking forward to seeing what the studio could produce. You're saying you never heard of them? Well, it's worth noting that Deviation Games is one of these studios that was formed, I believe, in early 2021 by Jason Blundell and Anthony Davis. And you guys might recognize the name Jason Blundell. He is famous for being a huge creator and part of the creative team for Treyarch's Call of Duty Zombies, and a lot of veteran talent who worked on previous Call of Duty titles, specifically at Treyarch, moved over to Deviation Games. And, Sony took a chance on them, signed a deal with them, obviously provided a lot of funding to them, and they have been working on this game for a couple of years now, and now we're just suddenly, abruptly getting the news that, that 90 people have been laid off, which is the majority. Let's face it, it's like the majority of their of their development team, and we haven't seen a single thing of this game yet. And the only thing that's basically missing at this point is the announcement and the confirmation that this game is canceled. Like, in my opinion, there's no way this game isn't canceled. I've seen some people speculating that maybe what's happening is the game is pretty much done or close to being done, and you know, Sony has no plans to follow it up or anything like that, and they're just going to kind of like push it out the door. I don't think so. I don't see this is where, you know, Sony is different. Sony is different from, at least I think they are. I don't think Sony would do that. That would just tarnish their reputation. You know what I mean? If this game is bad, that's the assumption here, is like, it's worth noting that Sony doesn't own this studio. Sony doesn't own Deviation Games. So it's not like Sony is the one who laid these employees off. They can't do that. But here's the thing. Sony was the one clearly heavily funding this studio and heavily funding this project. So when you suddenly see mass layoffs like this that come out of nowhere, it's safe to say that Sony was like, guys, we're not funding this anymore. Like, we're not dumping any more money into this. They must have been very displeased with the results and what they ended up doing, because, you know, we've seen what happens to studios that make good progress. You look at Haven Studio. You look at Firewalk. Sony just recently acquired Firewalk. They're also working on a AAA live service. It seems like it might be a first-person shooter game. And Sony was so impressed with their progress and how their game's coming along and seemingly the quality of their game that they're like, yo, do you want to get acquired? Like, do you want to become part of PlayStation Studios? This is the exact opposite of that. This seems to be that Sony took a chance on these veteran developers on this team, and they expected, you know, high quality results. They clearly put a lot of funding into the game. And, you know, again, you see 90 developers laid off at one time. It's clear that Sony was like, we're not providing any more funding. You know, it's pretty much the opposite of what happened with Firewalk and Haven. And unfortunately, what's happening now is there is some conversation brewing that is calling into question PlayStation's ability to properly manage studios. And this is something that I absolutely want to focus on, because I want to make sure that people do not begin to run with BS narratives that are just simply not true. Wrench, you're saying your boy from down under is up again at 2 a.m. Hyped. Thank you so much, man. Watching my stream at 2 a.m. That's crazy, dude. I appreciate you being here. Anime for entertainment. You're saying, why must Kojima do this to us? Why? For those who don't know what Anime for Entertainment is talking about, Kojima on his Twitter account posted, he posted the letters PT, and it was for an upcoming movie. And, it basically caused people to lose their minds, because they're like, with Kojima, you never know. Is he trolling? What is he hinting at something? And you couple the fact that he did that during a time when the showcase is supposed to happen. It's understandable why people might hold on to that, but I don't think it's anything. Just straight up, I don't think it's anything. I know a lot of people want to think that Kojima's hinting at PT2 and, some type of PT. I'm pretty sure he's just he just acknowledged that their profile picture for the movie says PT. So yeah, I mean, look, I would love to jump on that, but I don't think so, man. I don't think so. And we got Figuratively Literal saying, hey, MBG, it feels like Sony is getting all of the bad news out of the way before blinding people with showcase goodness. Absolutely. Figuratively Literal. That is 100% what's happening. I'm going to talk about why people need to relax on this idea of like Sony's management. That's practically a rant-worthy topic in and of itself, because the amount of people that I've seen actually like trying to paint a doom and gloom picture when it's not even remotely close to anything like that is incredibly frustrating. But yes, that's the reality. Sony has been making the rounds to all of their studios. Herman Holst has been checking in, doing evaluations and reviews of all of their not only first-party studios, as we saw with Recently, Pixel Opus, RIP. Unfortunately, they got closed down. But also Dreams Studio and Little Big Planet Studio, Media Molecule. We can very clearly see that they've been making the rounds. And then on top of that, they've been making the rounds and doing reviews of their partner studios as well. We just recently saw that Firewalk got acquired because, hey, Sony, it was time for them to check in on the game. And they're like, yo, you guys are the real deal. We want to sign you. We want to bring you on board. And yeah, and now we're seeing, unfortunately, the dark side of that with their partner studios. I see somebody saying, is his mic messing up for anybody else? Guys, are you having any issues with the mic? I know that we started this podcast in a booming way, but let me know if you're hearing any issues with the mic. No? Yeah, unfortunately, man, it might just be on your end. Everybody in the chat is saying there's no issues with the audio, so we're good here. A little loud. Yeah, I'm talking very close to it, maybe. All right. Thank you guys for letting me know. But yes, figuratively literal. That's the thing is with these evaluations, it's likely that there is going to be some bad news that comes out. There is going to be some bad news that comes out. That's what's happening. Pixel Opus shutting down, not good news. Deviation Games, a studio that's partnered with Sony, 90 of their employees laid off, not good news. But there's no doubt in my mind that, yes, they're getting the bad news out of the way now because they're getting ready. I mean, that's another thing, too, is people should also keep in mind that the reason why they're checking in on their studios and figuring out what's going on with them is because they, I don't know if Sony right now is still in the process of getting their showcase put together. They might. But at the very least, they have been, and so they got to go to their studios and basically say, hey, guys, it's showcase time. You guys, like, what do you have to show? What do you want to show? What can you show? And I feel like the studios that probably you end up hearing bad news about, these are probably studios that have been working on games for a couple of years and they don't really have anything ready to show, or whatever they're working on just doesn't look very good. Whiskey Gaming, you're saying, if that was the result of Sony cutting funding, then that is the type of tough decision Xbox never makes. Cutting your losses and not trying to push a broken game across the finish line. I'm glad you brought this up, Whiskey Gaming, because yes, this is a problem. This is a problem where, there is a little bit of bad news coming out for PlayStation. And, I put in my title here, Xbox fanboys are desperate to see Sony fail. That, again, I put fanboys and not fans because a lot of Xbox fans are actually understanding. They're understanding. William, you're saying both Firewalk and Deviation were partner studios with a similar pedigree of talent in shooters. It's possible that the one that was successful in meeting the milestones was the one acquired. Yeah, absolutely, man. That would make the most sense here. Saying the other one that didn't meet the milestones was probably let go. Well, I've seen a lot of people online, at least on Twitter, some corners of YouTube as well, pretty much coming out and saying like, well, it seems like Sony has some management issues here, blah, blah, blah. And they're trying to just make it seem like what's going on at Sony, what's going on at PlayStation. But in reality, it's like, this is the difference between PlayStation and Microsoft is that, I made the argument with a game like Redfall that Microsoft probably should have canceled it. Like, realistically, considering just from top to bottom, fundamentally speaking, the game just had some serious issues. They probably should have just canceled it. But the reason they didn't was because they went so long without having a game, a AAA game, quote unquote AAA, and they also have Game Pass that they have to feed. They were just like, well, we should just put it out there anyway and damage control afterwards. To me, this is a clear sign that Sony's not willing to do that. Sony's not willing to do that. Sony is willing to cut their losses. And I think that is a smart thing to do. The reason being is, well, first off, I understand that no company wants to waste money. and, just ultimately not get anything in return. But at the same time, like, gamers don't want bad products, especially on Sony's platform when we're expected to pay full price for those products, right? Um, unless it's going to be free to play, but sticking with the paying for quality here. Um, I think it's good that Sony does what they have to do, even if it does result in some bad news temporarily, because it's like, yeah, if Pixel Opus was making a bad game, and it was clear that this game was going to go through complete development hell if they didn't do something now, then yeah, I would prefer do what you got to do. It's not easy, but you got to do what you got to do. That takes good leadership. That takes a good understanding of the quality bar that exists at PlayStation Studios and what fans expect. And so when I think about Deviation, it's pretty clear to me that Sony wouldn't cut funding for a AAA new IP like this unless it was just bad. See somebody asking, what's the bar? To me, it's obvious what the bar is. The bar is it has to be good quality at minimum, preferably great, but it has to be at least good. At least good. To me, that's the bar. And it doesn't surprise me at all. Nor do I feel upset if Sony is evaluating all of their studios as well as their partners, and they have to make some cuts, man, where it's like we've looked at all these projects, and there are some that are not many. I think that's something that's worth noting, is it's not many, right? It's basically Pixel Opus. It's basically Media Molecule, Pixel Opus, and Deviation Games as far as we can tell. Now, Media Molecule to me is obvious where that studio is not going to get shut down, but they were clearly like, guys, we gave you long enough with Dreams. It's time to pack it up, move on, start working on something else. Okay, we're going to need to see some real results in the coming years. And I think that's good. I think a lot of people have been asking Sony to basically, put a little fire under Media Molecule and get them working on some new games. Nothing against Dreams, but it's like, yeah, people want to see some new games from Media Molecule. It's a talented studio, very creative studio. And then, and then after that, Pixel Opus gets shut down. They had about 15, maybe 20 developers at most. It sucks. It's unfortunate, but, I'll be honest, a lot of people, when that happened, were like, who? Like, what studio is this? I think it's sad, but that's just the reality of it. And now Deviation Games, the biggest thing that people need to realize on the internet anyway, on Twitter, people need to understand that this is not a first-party studio. Deviation Games is not a first-party studio, and people need to not treat it like it is, because this would be a much worse situation, by far a much worse situation, if this was a first-party studio and Sony was like, yeah, we're laying off 90 of the developers and the game's pretty much canceled. That would be very bad. But that's the thing about Sony, though. Like somebody said, like, what is the bar? The bar that Sony's not just going to acquire anybody. They're not. They're not just going to acquire anybody. They're only going to acquire teams that really can prove themselves. And I'll be honest, I had a lot of hope for Deviation Games. I really did. I thought they have a ton of talent. They have a lot of, Call of Duty developers. And when Jason Blundell left, I was like, ooh, that's a bad sign. Like that, like he was one of the, studio founders, and he was the biggest name attached to that studio, and he just left. That is the biggest sign that something is going horribly wrong over at Deviation Games. And that's the unfortunate nature of big budget AAA game development, especially when you're trying to make a new studio, you're trying to create a brand new IP. The reality is many people will discover that it's a lot harder than they originally thought. And it really, this is why I have a lot of respect for Sony, because Sony has created a culture within PlayStation Studios that ultimately facilitates that high quality bar. And it's not something where it's like each one of their studios are extremely isolated. these studios, they compete with one another and they share with one another and they help build each other up. And it's up to Sony ultimately and their management to know like whether or not a a new AAA studio has what it takes and would fit well within the family of studios. Because Sony could very easily make the big mistake of investing in the wrong studio, possibly acquiring that studio, and just ultimately realizing that, yikes, we messed up. Like this studio actually is not good, and we're gonna probably have to shut them down. All right, let me see here. Guys, give me a second to hydrate. I don't know why. I'm extremely thirsty right now. So just give me a moment. I don't know why I'm so thirsty. Oh, that's better. That's better. I think it's because I'm still a little bit sick, as you could probably tell. I did just I got like a small little workout. I think that's probably why I'm so thirsty. I did a small little workout before I went live. So nothing major. Not trying to push it. Trying to recover here. Diabetes? No, I don't think so. I hope not. So I appreciate the super chat, Whiskey Gaming. We got Salvazard06 saying, "Hey MBG, maybe they tried to grow too quick, too fast. Remember, they opened a second studio in Canada, bit off more than they can chew." Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Sony, Sony ultimately had to make an investment in the studio, and the thing is, because Sony doesn't own them, they have to just give them the money, and they give them the money based off of what the studio heads are pitching to them, and if you listen to everything Deviation has said about their games, or their game, I should say, not games, the game that they've been working on, I mean, they really hype it up. Like, they call it like a world class, AAA shooter. I think they said it was a shooter, and they really just kind of, they really dug into this high quality AAA awesome new experience, and that's exactly what they told Sony. That's, I think, important to understand, is that's exactly what they told Sony they were going to deliver, and Sony, Sony liked what they heard. They liked the proof of concept. They believed in the team, and when they gave them that money, it was, Deviation was free to do what they wanted with it. And you could be absolutely correct in that maybe they grew too fast, they grew too quickly ultimately, and there's a good chance they may have just blown their money. That's a real thing that could have happened. Where maybe you do have the talent and you do have the resources, but that's part of management, where you have to have specific people in place who know like what to do with the budget and where to allocate the money. And it is crazy to think that, yeah, they did open like a second studio, and you gotta ask yourself, like, well, was that a good idea? You know what I mean? I'll be honest, like, the vibe I get from Deviation Games is this. I get the vibe that they were very ambitious, enthusiastic developers who were dreaming big, and they struck a deal with Sony. And when they struck that deal with Sony and got that massive amount of funding, it was basically like this is a dream come true moment. And I think that they ultimately just, I think that they just they flew too close to the sun too quickly. And I get the feeling that they were I could see them being the type of studio where they were like hiring people left and right, and just constantly focused on all these different things. But it's like, in reality, it's like, but how's the game progressing? And it's like, well, either that or the game was just bad. You know what I mean? That's the thing is like it's one of those two things. It's either the game was not progressing as it should and they didn't have much to show for themselves, or the show or the game that they did show just was not good. You know, where it's like we gave you all this money, you have all these developers, you have all of this all these resources, you got 2 studios. It's like what's going on here? And that's the thing is Sony knows what they're doing in the AAA development space. It is tons of speculation, and that's all I can provide right now because it seems like very soon we're going to learn exactly what happened. But right now, all we know is that mass layoffs, that's all we know. And the thing is Sony knows AAA development better than most publishers. They're very experienced. They know how a game should or shouldn't be progressing. You know what I mean? Based on certain timelines, on metrics. And so that's why I trust Sony. That's why I think anybody who's out here, anybody who's out here making it seem like Sony doesn't know what they're doing or there's mismanagement going on. Actually, this is quite the opposite. This is not mismanagement. This is actually competent management doing their job. Because you know what would have been bad? If Sony knew that Pixel Opus, their game's not good. And, we gave them X amount of funding, X amount of time, and it's just they can't produce the results. Bad management would have been, well, just crap it out anyway. Let's see what we can get back on it. They could have done that. They absolutely could have done that. And they didn't. Bad management would have said, well, we already invested this much money into Deviation games. And even though their game is seemingly going to take another 7 years to develop, either that or it's just really bad, low quality, not coming together, we'll just stick with it. That's bad management. Sony is a well-oiled, lean, mean AAA game producing machine. That's the reality. They're not producing, AA games. They're not producing indie-esque games. They're trying to produce the best of the best in the industry. And they know that that's what people expect. That's what the fans expect. And anybody who's paying $70 for a full-blown AAA title from them, they don't expect anything less than something very good, I would say. And so I have no problem with Sony making the tough decisions that need to be made to make sure that they're not going to have like weak teams. They're not, you know how the saying goes, like you're only as strong as your weakest link. I mean, that's an intense mentality to have. I don't know that it's 100% applicable to game studios and a family of game studios, but to a degree, it's like, if you're really trying to, if you're really trying to get to that level that has never been achieved before by a family of studios, that's what's going to be necessary. That's the reality. Oh my God, I have a tickle in my throat. Sorry if I keep coughing, guys. Man, I can't taste anything either or smell anything. Man, what the hell? Why do I keep getting sick, man? I'm getting so annoyed. Why do I keep getting sick? So thank you for that, Salvazar. And we got a PSP Reviewer 100. Have you seen Kojima's PT post and Jeff's comment? Yo, Jeff commented on it. You have COVID, MBG. Yeah, I might. I probably do. Dude, if this is COVID, then I've had COVID like legit 3 times this year already. You don't eat healthy, maybe. I definitely eat too much sugar. That's actually something I'm working on very aggressively, cutting out a lot of sugar, if not as much as I possibly can, like all of it. Maybe not. I mean, I can't cut out all of it. Can't go that extreme yet. But yeah, I got to cut out the sugar. Let me go check PSP Reviewer. I did see Kojima's post. I did not see Jeff Keighley's tweet. I'm just curious because we know that Kojima and Jeff Keighley are gonna, we know that he's gonna show up. Let me see. Dude, it's just so funny, man. Like, guys, go check out Kojima's Twitter, because the movie that he is referring to here is called Poor Things, starring Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, coming out September, and their profile picture is just PT. And it looks pretty similar. I did not see Jeff Keighley's response, though. Did Jeff say something? I'm looking now. I'm curious, because... Oh, dude, the replies in this are just amazing, dude. People are so upset. People are so upset. All right, let me check Jeff Keighley. Let me see what he said. Are you sure he replied to it, man? Because I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't think he actually replied to that. I'm checking Jeff Keighley's Twitter now. I don't see any replies from him. On Instagram? Oh. Yeah, you'll have to let me know what he said. I don't have an Instagram. It sounds like a typical Saturday on Twitter. Yeah, absolutely. Let me know what he said. The Furious, you're saying, I'd pay $500 for you to drum MK Trilogy character select music. I'd have to listen to that. I'd have to listen to it and see what are what's the drums like for the original MK character selection. He said, "Let him cook." What? What? Why? Why would he say that? Why would Jeff Keighley say that? Let him cook? Is it in regards to PT onto the PT post? Are you sure? Are you sure? Nuh-uh. Come on. I'll send you the screenshot on Twitter. All right, thanks, man. I mean, I do believe it. I do believe it ultimately, because it's like, yeah. No, they need to stop. They need to stop. It's dead. It's over. It's been over. It's been over for so long. They keep it alive. Bullshit. Oh, man. MBG, are you thinking about hopping on Rumble? I've heard of Rumble. I'm not sure what it is exactly. Maybe I'll have to look into that. I've heard of it, but I have no idea what it actually is. Isn't it like an alternative to like YouTube? Hassan is cooking too. Oh, man. Alternative video platform. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've only heard about it like once or twice. Don't you dare go down that rabbit hole. Oh. Why? What's going on? What's going on with Rumble? It's a subscription-based video platform. Oh, that's interesting. It's mostly for like unedited content. Oh, damn. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty unedited as it is. Yeah, The Furious. I'm gonna have to check that out, man. I'm gonna have to check out the original character select music, see if I can drum to it. The next time I go play my drums, I'm definitely gonna look into that, see what it sounds like. Figuratively literal, you're saying this is quality control, rejecting projects that don't measure up, Deviation and Pixel Opus, only accepting projects that meet expectations, Firewalk. Yeah, I mean, dude, yes, I think it's legitimately laughable that there are Xbox fanboys on Twitter, on the internet, that are so desperate to make Sony look bad and to see Sony fail. Like, I get it. I get it, man. I understand that Xbox has had some of the roughest weeks in its history, and the fan base is down. And I would be too. I get it. And you're desperate for a win, and you know, you see a little bit of not so great news regarding PlayStation, and some of these people are so quick to immediately jump on it that it's like, guys, they're not comparable. That's the reality of the situation. There are people trying to compare some of the news that we just received, for Deviation Games and Pixel Opus to the things that have been going on with Xbox. And even on Twitter, I post one thing about it and people get all over my case. They're like, if this was Xbox, you'd be doing an emergency stream, shitting all over them, screaming, losing your mind. And I'm like, what? Like, to me, it's just like, are you serious right now? Like, are you serious? Like, Xbox gets pounced on because they continually fuck up and they continually suck. Like they consistently mess up. That's why they get pounced on, even when it comes to smaller things. But the things that have been happening with Xbox lately are not small. They're some of the biggest, worst things that could happen. The reason why I'm not so quick to, well, first off, I couldn't do a stream yesterday because I was pretty sick yesterday. I was definitely not in streaming. I streamed a little bit of Dead by Daylight, but I couldn't do something like this yesterday. But the reason why I'm not going to like immediately jump out and say like, oh shit, like PlayStation's in trouble or PlayStation's having mismanagement, it's because it's like they're not though. Like that's the thing. They're literally not. It's not their studio. We haven't even seen the game. Like Sony has only been consistently producing good games, mostly. I mean, I don't know. I would say that like the smartest thing that Sony has been doing recently, I've noticed, is I'm afraid to say this because I feel like I'm going to jinx it, but I'll just say it is what it is. Sony only has so much quality control with partner studios. Like a game like Forspoken, whatever Deviation's working on. Sony has to take chances. They have to take certain risks. It's part of the business. But they only have so much control internally over these external projects. The reality is Sony has not produced as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, but nothing comes to mind. I don't know when the last time Sony produced a first party game that came out like really messed up or just really, really bad. I really can't remember. I mean, I know at the launch of Horizon Forbidden West, people were saying GT7. Yeah, I guess we could count that. To me, that's a little bit different, only because it's like they did fuck up, like for sure. They did fuck up, but it wasn't the game itself. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people saying Days Gone. Okay, yeah, Days Gone's tough for me because like I saw everybody was saying they were having issues, but I played it at launch, dude. I never had any issues. So GT7, Days Gone, okay. Yeah, those two are fair. I mean, yeah, the big difference I would say for GT7 though is GT7 didn't have any actual like gameplay issues. As far as I'm aware, people were very, very satisfied with the game. It's just where Sony messed up, or at least Polyphony Digital messed up, was with the monetization. And people were like, you guys got to fix this. Like, this is not how it should be. And they did. They did fix it. And I gave them shit for that. But, that was like a one-time thing. Days Gone, I don't know, man. To me, Days Gone's a weird one. Days Gone, I guess we could count that because I don't want to make it sound like people are lying about the issues they had with the game. Because, I mean, there was enough. The Last of Us PC. Well, okay. I mean, again, I guess we could count. I don't count that. I'll be honest with you. I don't count The Last of Us PC because that's not a PlayStation fan's problem. It's just not. It sucks. It sucks. It's unacceptable. It's a problem. Sony, please don't. I already talked about it. Don't do that shit again. But for PS5, for PlayStation console buyers, it's not a problem. You know what I mean? Like The Last of Us Part 1 launched perfect on PS5. Sony only did it 7 times. 7 times? I don't know about 7 times, bro. I mean, Days Gone, out of all the ones we just listed here, you mentioned the Order 1886. Yeah, that's a long time ago, though, dude. That's like a decade ago. And even, I don't know, man, Sony's biggest fuck up with the Order 1886 was them deciding they're going to price it at $60. You know, like, it was clear that people would have been much happier with the game if it was cheaper than being full price. But I love the Order 1886. That game was really good. Like, that game, I'm wearing an Order 1886 shirt right now, dude. I cannot believe we did not get a sequel to that game. They could have done so much. Man. They really could have with that. So that's sad. And I think the studio that made it, they're done now anyway. Sad times, man. Sad times. Well, yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying that Sony is completely immune or bulletproof. They're not. But I think we can all agree, at least I would hope, that in general, Sony does a pretty damn good job. Like, for the amount of games that they put out from their first-party studios over the years, like, generally speaking, they have way more hits than misses, and their misses are not really that severe, in my opinion. Like, I mean, yeah, we could say Days Gone had some serious issues technically at launch for certain people, but I love Days Gone, and, like, it is one of my favorite PlayStation games of all time. Like, and I loved it. So, you know, it's one of these things where Sony's not perfect, but to see what's happening right now, to say like, oh, you know, they are basically doing some quality control with their studios and their partners, and to basically equate that to, well, they're fucking up. They don't know what they're doing. You know, they're mismanaging. I don't know about that, man. And I want to make it clear, like, I'm expecting some issues, truthfully. Like, I think every PlayStation fan should brace themselves with these live service games because they're gonna have issues. They're gonna launch. I don't want to say they're gonna launch in a broken state, but there are gonna be some serious growing pains. Is the best way I could put it, and I'm gonna be sure to let everybody know as we see these games announced and we build up to the launch of these games. I'm gonna be sure to let everybody know, like, guys, it's, be ready for some problems, and especially if they're free to play. And that's not me justifying. I just think that that's the reality of the situation. Like, Sony does not produce live service games. This is going to be their first real effort trying to produce successful live service multiplayer games. And some of the studios that are producing these games, like Naughty Dog, have never really attempted something like this. I think it's only fair to just give them a little bit of leeway and, like, okay, I'll be honest. I'm expecting a high quality video game to play, but I know that when it comes to multiplayer live service and balancing and, servers and shit, like, I'm fully expecting some stuff to go wrong, at least at first. I mean, even a game like GT7, right? Like that, again, that you could argue that the part of that game that was considered flawed at launch that people were focused on was the live service aspect of it, the monetization of it. Yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. Saying no PlayStation games have launched like Redfall, that is true. That is true. Spanky Jenkins is saying, off topic, my apologies, but I've been so curious. I know you like Pantera, and so you must enjoy metal. Avid listener, favorite bands? Well, I do love Pantera. Yes, I've been listening to Pantera since I was very young. They're one of my favorites. I gotta say, like, one of my favorite Pantera songs is Floods. I love Dimebag's, just his guitar outro, the solo that he does at the outro. It's totally like, especially, now, like, listening to it, knowing, he passed away the way he did. One of my all-time favorites. But, You're asking me like some of my. I'm an avid listener of all rock, classic rock, 70s, 80s, 90s, early aughts, even some today. And I'm into metal as well. When it comes to the metal that I listen to, I'm a little bit more specific. Like there's just like certain metal bands that I really are like my go-tos. Like for example, Lamb of God. They're like one of my all-time favorite bands. You mentioning In Flames. Yeah, like that's a band I've heard In Flames and I like them, but I've never got like super into them. I've been listening to I don't know, man. I was listening to Avenged Sevenfold. I've always been into them. I've always enjoyed Avenged Sevenfold. I've been listening to their 2 new songs. They just released their second single. Have you guys heard this song? It's called We Love You. I don't know how I feel about it, man. I don't know how I feel. It sounds so strange. Like I do not know how I feel about it. Mastodon, yeah, I never got heavily into Mastodon, but I do enjoy Mastodon. Like there are quite a few songs to them. I think my favorite song from Mastodon is Curl of the Burl. I just love that song. Queens of the Stone Age, yeah. Casual listener of Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah, I'm into a lot of different music. Something else I've been listening to recently is Metallica's new album. It's a grower. It's not the best they've ever done, but I'm enjoying it for what it is. How about Ghost? Yeah, I've listened to Ghost too. Ghost is extremely catchy. Sorry. Yeah, dude. Spanky Jenkins completely throwing MBG off course here, talking about music. Yeah, you see like Behemoth and Dimmu Borgir. I can't get into that, dude. Like that to me is too far out. Alice in Chains, absolutely. I've been listening to more Alice in Chains lately, actually. Love Alice in Chains, man. Lane Staley, he's one of the greatest. Temple of the Dog, yeah. Only one album. Truly one of the best, though. Truly one of the best. Any modern metal bands? God, that's a tough one. I don't know. Like I would have to go through and listen. Like I don't know. I find that like I'm becoming more specific with the stuff I look for. All right, I'm gonna move on from this though because I'm losing viewers. They're like, damn it, I don't want to hear MPG talk about music. So I appreciate the super chat, Spanky Jenkins. Muhammad Salomon, thank you for the super sticker, man. I appreciate that, bud. We got Ledin Theory. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but you're saying the only game Sony has made that was not good was Forspoken, Godfall, and the driving game that they released at the PlayStation 5 cycle. Well, the interesting thing about Forspoken and Godfall, as I said, those are not those are not first party games. They're partner games. Meshuggah, yeah, I like Meshuggah as well. Love that. Love Bleed. But you're saying in the driving game, I don't know if you're talking about GT7. I feel like you could be talking about Drive Club. Yeah, Drive Club was a disaster. That was a problem. Drive Club was a problem for sure. The Furious, you're saying now I want you to play 512 by Lamb of God on drums. Yeah, dude, I've drummed to that many times. I'm not perfect. I struggle to completely nail every note, but I like to think I get relatively close. But yeah, dude, I miss Chris Adler on drums for Lamb of God. 512 is one of my favorite songs, though. The Genius, you're saying, still have the PT app. Kojima just riled up people on Instagram, LOL. As for GT7, I said it before the monetization issue was overblown. Put 100 plus hours at launch. 1 unlocked. Enjoyed perhaps a smear campaign. Yeah, dude. I mean, that is something that I remember seeing as a response from quite a few people, especially because a lot of people here on the channel are PlayStation fans. A lot of people are, buying GT7 at launch and playing it at launch. And I mean, I did notice there were quite a few people that were basically saying that the issues with GT7 were not nearly as bad as the internet is making it sound. And a lot of people were saying, like, you got to play it and experience it firsthand to understand. And I remember at the time I was just like, well, look, a lot of people are saying that it shouldn't be as bad as it is, and and Sony could easily, make some adjustments to improve the overall experience, monetization wise, and unlocking stuff and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, that's where the reason why I was so quick to push back against it is because I'm okay with that, like I'm okay with Sony basically getting a bit of pushback and deciding, you know what, we're going to make some adjustments and some tweaks to our monetization of this live service game, because I mean, they have a lot of live service games coming out, and that's one of the biggest fears, right? Is they could make a great game that's really fun to play, high quality, but they could ruin it with monetization if they screw the monetization aspect up. They absolutely could ruin it if they're not careful. They're going to have to strike a good balance. But yeah, dude, you mentioned Kojima riling people up on Instagram. Bro, I can't even. I can't, like, I want to, but I literally can't. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't I don't know, man. All I think about in my head, truthfully, the only thing that pops up in my head regarding Kojima is I keep thinking back to his interview he did with Jeff Keighley on his podcast, where he finally acknowledged the whole blue box thing, and he seemed dead serious, where he was like, guys, I'm not involved with any of this, like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know what this team is. He says, I wish him luck. And he, yeah, Guillermo del Toro did visit Hideo Kojima the other day, didn't he? Don't do it. You're not pulling me back in. Not this time. Not this time. Oh, man. I can't do it. I've been there too many times, bro. I've been there too many times. Dude, I just want to say, and this is all I'm going to say. This is all I'm going to fucking say, okay? Like, I swear this is all I'm going to say. We are multiple years removed from the blue box situation, right? And the whole, like, Kojima's involved with Silent Hill. I'm just going to say that I one day am fully expecting that Kojima is just going to come out and be like, because we're never going to hear from Blue Box again. We're never going to hear from this abandoned app ever again. It might even be removed from the PlayStation Store or something. I don't know. One day, Kojima's just going to come and be like, yeah, that was me. That was me. Like, it went pretty badly in the wrong direction. So we had to, like, cut it and basically just, like, say, oh, no, listen, we're not involved. But because, like, if you think about it, like, if Kojima reveals years later that he did it, it would be like, people would be mad, but it's so far away. It's like, God damn it. Like, no, I just gotta say though, like, that is the devious nature of Hideo Kojima though. Like, you're saying he's getting people riled up on Instagram and clearly on Twitter as well, and he's doing something that seems so harmless, and it is harmless, but he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, he knows he just got that. shit-eating grin when he's getting ready to post something like that. And you know, you just got to wonder, like, this dude was dead serious. He was dead serious on his podcast saying, I'm not involved with Konami anymore. I'm done with Metal Gear. I'm never working on Silent Hill again. I'm doing my own things. It's like, okay, well, he's very serious. And then he does something like this, and you know he's just sitting there like, oops. Exley, Nick Exley, thank you, man. Thank you for another 5-bomb, dude. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta get a Kojima soundbite. Which Kojima soundbite should I get? But thank you, Exley. That's another 5 memberships gifted. That brings us up to 108 on the day. Love to see it. Love to see it. What Kojima soundbite should I get? Yeah, W's in the chat for Exley. Unintended Studios, a member for 18 months. Thank you, man. You're saying, give Casket Robbery a try. Horror-themed metal. Plus, our vocalist was the voice of Rebecca Chambers in DBD. Oh, that's really interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, Rebecca Chambers in DBD. One thing that always stands out to me is her scream when she gets hooked. It's so intense. Casket Robbery. Yeah, I'll try to remember that, man. I appreciate it, dude. I should use the I am back. I'm back. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We got Jakey Stee, thank you so much, man. You're saying, hey, BG, on holiday, so we'll miss the stream. But just wanted to say, keep up the good work. Hope you get a much-needed holiday at some point, as you've been killing it daily. Keep on keeping on. Well, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure at some point I'll take, not like a super extended break, but a little break. I mean, I feel like I took basically the past 2 days off. I kind of had to, you know, because I got kind of sick, but that's a little bit different. So hopefully that'll happen at some point. And I appreciate the support, man. I really do. Thank you guys for everything. I mean, honestly, that's why I am like, you know what? I want to stream today. I want to do my podcast tomorrow. I want to stream as much as I can. I want to, you know, I want to keep this going as often as I can, because I think, I don't know, it's always just a good time. Even when there like aren't major topics or anything, you know, even when there's not like big, massive things happening. MBG doesn't take holidays. Holidays take a break from MBG. I appreciate it, guys. So speaking of Hideo Kojima and speaking of Kojima Productions and Jeff Keighley, something else I did want to talk to you guys about. Not again, it's not major news, but it's worth sharing, and I haven't talked about it yet. But Jeff Keighley confirmed all of the partners that are going to be at Summer Game Fest this year. And of those partners, PlayStation is listed. And, you know, this kind of got people thinking like, oh, well, you know, if Sony's doing a showcase, you know, before Summer Game Fest, what would they save to show? Like, what would they give Jeff Keighley? I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious that Kojima is going to be the one to show up at Summer Game Fest with more Death Stranding 2. That's my guess anyway. I mean, I feel like that just makes the most sense. I could see Sony just wanting to maybe show more trailers off or something, like for games that they may announce at their showcase. But I just figured I would mention that because I'll be honest, I was wondering, like with Summer Game Fest, if maybe PlayStation wasn't going to be involved this year because, you know, reportedly they're doing a showcase before it happens. So it's like, well, if they're going to do a showcase before it happens, then, you know, maybe they won't have anything to show at Summer Game Fest. And yeah, apparently not. Apparently that's not the case. So I'm definitely interested to see what they show up to Summer Game. I gotta be honest. I'm glad that they're showing up to Summer Game Fest because, like, you know, it would suck to watch a show like that, like Summer Game Fest, and know that PlayStation's not involved at all. Xbox is going to be there too. A lot of publishers are going to be there, but it would have definitely been more disappointing if, if Sony wasn't going to have any part of it whatsoever. Here's something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Man, I really hope I have more energy for the podcast tomorrow, because I got to be real with you guys right now. Like, I'm not even an hour and a half into this stream, and I'm already feeling like, I don't know if I'm getting feverish or what, but I am, my energy levels are down, bro. No joke. Like, I just can't conjure up the necessary energy. I'm even drinking coffee here. Inject adrenaline. Go sleep. Well, you say go sleep. No, dude, I couldn't go to sleep. That's why I'm trying to just hang in here and not hang in here. It's not so, like, it would be easier if there were more topics to talk about, truthfully. Take a nap. I'm not a nap person. I cannot sleep during the day. Never could. Never could. I do have something else I wanted to bring up to you guys, though. Check this out. The CMA has imposed more restrictions against Activision Blizzard Microsoft deal. Activision Blizzard and Microsoft have seen further restrictions imposed against them by the Competition and Markets Authority following its decision to block the proposed buyout of the publisher by the Xbox format holder. As detailed in an interim order published yesterday by the UK regulator, Activision and Microsoft will need to provide prior written consent from the regulator before either company does any of the following. 1. Acquires an interest in the other company or any of its subsidiaries, e.g. investing in each other's development studios, acquires an interest in another business that holds an interest in the other company, and 3. Hold an option to acquire interest in either of the above. The company revealed that the additional restrictions have been applied for the purpose of preventing preemptive action from Activision Blizzard or Microsoft. So yeah, that's pretty significant. Like, I gotta be honest, I was quite surprised to see that not many people were talking about it. But basically what this means is not only is the CMA preventing Activision Blizzard from being acquired by Microsoft, but they're essentially preventing them from doing almost anything else with them. And that, that is pretty intense because, we had conversations where it's like, okay, well, even if Activision Blizzard gets blocked, right? Even if they get blocked, at least they could still try to strike up some kind of meaningful deal. But no, that seemingly won't happen. You're saying that deal is still going through? Well, Monday, actually, we're apparently going to get the news that the European Commission has approved. They've approved this acquisition, and a lot of people are under the impression that if the European Commission gives it the green light, then it's still somehow, some way going to go through. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't hold out much hope. That's just me. What if they don't approve it? If on Monday the European regulator comes out and announces that it's not being approved and they're rejecting it, it's over. 100% it's over. Like, Microsoft will probably announce in just a few days after that it's over. Like, they're done pursuing it. I have this. I see. This is what I'm talking about. I just came across this person on Twitter. I'm not reading their name, okay, because I'm not trying to give them any attention. I'm just going to read their tweet. Their tweet got a pretty decent amount of traction. It just goes to show, man, like, this is the type of stuff I'm seeing. They quoted VGC's article about Deviation Games laying off 90 developers. And they say, what's going on with PlayStation at the moment? Bungie had layoffs and raised prices with recent DLC not doing well. They closed down Dreams. They closed the first party studio. They canceled an FPS game with layoffs. I was told that sales fund the new games because they support the developers. Must be mismanagement issues. It's like, oh, you just don't get it. Like, you really just don't get it. Like, it's weird to me that there are people who actually see it this way, man. I don't understand how they can see it this way. Like, that's not. Well, anyway, here's another topic I have for you. Not looking to just purposely hate on Xbox, but I just came across this article and I figured I would relay it to you guys and you make of it what you will, but I haven't seen too much on this topic, but I have an article here from Gaming Bolt. It says Game Pass hurt sales, says Somerville developer. Game Pass's value proposition from a consumer's perspective has undeniable appeal, and from day one releases to a growing catalog of older titles, the subscription service's catalog continues to grow increasingly attractive. One area where the services model has been often questioned, however, is how it impacts the games and their commercial performances. While many developers have spoken frequently about how Game Pass encourages greater experimentation and also increases exposure for games, there have also been a few who have seen sales being negatively impacted due to availability on the service. One of those, it turns out, is Dino Patti, co-founder of Jump Ship. The studio launched its sci-fi adventure game Somerville for Xbox and PC last year and was available via Game Pass right out of the gate. And while Patti believes Jump Ship did a pretty good deal with Microsoft, he says Somerville's sales were affected by it nonetheless. According to Patti, the conventional model of making a full game and selling it for an upfront price is still very much the way forward. See, this is why this shit's interesting to me, because it's like straight up a developer who launched their game into Game Pass is coming out and saying, yeah, it seems like just buying the game, like just making the game and selling it might be the way to go, turns out. Subtext, you're saying these Xbox fans don't realize these decisions are good management. It's management in action. Terrible for the jobs lost, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is you feel for everybody who loses their job, obviously. That absolutely sucks. You don't like to see that. But yeah, man, it's just the reality of doing business, especially when you're talking about making high quality AAA games. Not everybody's going to be able to hang. That's just the reality. So you're absolutely right, subtext. Jerome Montgomery is saying Zelda got a 96, near perfect. Can Spider-Man win? Oh, man. Yeah, I've seen that. I'm going to answer that question in just a moment. Let me finish this article. So this is what the developer had to say. We did a pretty good deal. I also think it hurts sales because a lot of people just go in and they try it and they don't invest. If they don't like the first 10 minutes, that's it. Also, if you don't make the first 10 minutes amazing, maybe it's also a problem. I think Game Pass is okay. It's not my favorite. My favorite is the old premium model where I sell you on some video, on big images, and earn your $30. And then after that, I have to deliver. I don't need to get money out of you later. Interestingly enough, Microsoft itself has recently stated that game sales end up getting significantly impacted if they are also available on Game Pass in documents submitted by the UK's CMA. And so, yeah, dude, like, I mean, again, I'm not trying to like turn it into a like, oh, let me just rant about how I hate Game Pass and it's ruining the industry. But no, it's not so much that as much because you guys know how I feel about Game Pass. There's no reason for me to say anything more on it. But you know, you guys take that and you make of it what you will. My personal take on this is I'm not surprised, man. Like, I'm not surprised to be hearing that a developer put their game into Game Pass. They mentioned they signed a good deal with Microsoft, so they made their money. But clearly, they were not expecting it to have as big of an impact on sales as it did. Because they come out after launching their game on Game Pass and say, I like Game Pass. It's not my favorite. My favorite is the old premium model where I sell you on the game and earn your $30. That's what they're saying. And I think that's pretty important to highlight and pay attention to, because it's not me saying that. It's not you saying that. It's not some random it's a developer who actually worked on a game and put it in the Game Pass. And yeah, dude, I just, it is what it is. You're saying the game was trash though? Maybe. I will admit I'm not familiar with the game. That could be it too. That could be it too. Because he did mention that, like, if you play the first 10 minutes and you don't sell people in the first 10 minutes, you know, good luck getting that sale. Damn, it has a 60 on meta. Yeah, that's not great. Well, it does. You know what? I gotta say, it does make you wonder though. Like, maybe this to play devil's advocate here, maybe this developer's completely wrong, right? Like, maybe their game just straight up sucks, and maybe they actually made more money doing this Game Pass deal than they ever would have made on game sales. That's a possibility, you know? But I just figured I would highlight that. I thought it was just kind of interesting. Just because I feel like we don't hear from too many developers anymore about deals they make with Game Pass. Some developers like Game Pass. I don't know, man. Game Pass, to me, it seems like when it comes to the development side of things, seems like it's like a hit or miss thing. Like, it's different for every dev. So they just want 60s on Game Pass. But really quick, Jerome, to go back to your super chat, you're saying, look, Zelda got a near perfect score on Metacritic at a 96. Can Spider-Man win? I mean, I'll be honest. Look, I'm expecting greatness from Insomniac. I'm expecting greatness. I'm expecting a really, really, really top tier game, but I would be lying to you if I said I'm expecting them to get a 96 on Metacritic. I don't expect that. Do I think it's a possibility? I mean, look, man. Yeah, of course, I think it's possible. I do. I think it's possible that Insomniac could come out here and shock the shit out of everybody. Where it's like, bro, we knew you were gonna make a great game, but we were not prepared for how fucking insane this game is. It's possible. It is definitely possible. I don't know how likely it is though. I mean, you know, to get a score like a 96 on Metacritic, dude, that's I mean, that is very, 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 like, very difficult. Saying Final Fantasy 16 is a better chance? Yeah, maybe. But I do think I think Spider-Man will still be nominated for a Game of the Year. I think Spider-Man 2 will absolutely be Game of the Year material. That's I mean, that's just the level of confidence I have in Insomniac. But goddamn, dude, yeah, that Zelda Metacritic, wow. Magnum Gaming, you're saying, what if after the ABK deal fell off with the CMA, Sony's worst nightmare of losing COD is less the priority, which probably led to Deviation's decision? I didn't consider that, man. The timing of it is interesting, right? I mean, it could just be like a coincidence. You know, it could just be that, oh, at around the same time that you know, that the ABK deal seemingly on the ropes with the CMA blocking it, that's also around the same time that Sony's doing their review process for all their teams and Deviation Games. You know, I mean, yeah, there was talk that, hey, maybe Deviation Games can make a Call of Duty competitor. And, you know, I just, it is kind of sad, right? It does make you think, like, maybe there really is truth to what Sony's saying. Unfortunately, I hate to admit that, and I don't want to believe that. I'll probably still be in denial about it, but, you know, Sony's big argument was that, like, dude, we can't, like, if we lose Call of Duty one day, Because of course, Microsoft is like, we'll do a 10-year deal, but like if we lose Call of Duty on the PlayStation platform, even if it's 10 years from now, like we're not going to be able to fill that gap. Like there's just nothing we can do. I still want to say that that's not true. Like 10 years is a long time, and Sony can do it, but you're saying like, maybe no, I don't see the reason why I don't agree with that, dude, is because like I don't think Sony would have continued to fund Deviation games, regardless of what happened with the Activision Blizzard deal, because it's like if Deviation was making a good game, then they're making a good game, regardless of the ABK deal. If they're making a bad game, then they're making a bad game, regardless of the ABK deal. You know what I mean? Like, do I think the chances are higher that Sony would have like remained with Deviation and tried to see their game through? Probably not. Truthfully, probably not. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if you guys saw the report. I actually thought this was pretty interesting. We have been talking a lot about Call of Duty this year, and there were many reports earlier in the year that Activision was actually going to take a year off. They were not going to release a full-blown title again. They were going to release basically a premium DLC for Modern Warfare 2. Now we got a report from Insider Gaming, and they're very good with their reports, especially on Call of Duty, that Call of Duty 2023 is in fact going to be it's going to be a premium title, like a full-blown $70 title. It's being done by Sledgehammer Games, which I don't think people like Sledgehammer Games very much. And it's going to be Modern Warfare 3. It's going to be Modern Warfare 3. And I look, I just want to ask, number one, I don't know how many Call of Duty fans there are in the chat right now, but I have to imagine there are some Call of Duty fans in the chat right now, at least some. If you are like a legitimate Call of Duty fan, how do you feel about this? Because I have an opinion, and I know many people have their opinions, but I want to know how Call of Duty fans feel about this news. Sorry for that obnoxious sound. Treyarch is the better developer. I agree. Truthfully, the only time I would ever get excited about Call of Duty is with Treyarch. Man, I don't see anybody in the chat. All I see is everybody saying they're not a fan of Call of Duty. Rashdom, you're saying never thought Microsoft and PS fans united to hate on Zelda. Damn, dude. Yeah, there's the Zelda hate is out there. The Zelda hate is out there. Yeah, I don't know, man. To me, I think there are some major red flags with this upcoming Call of Duty, and I'm very curious to see how Activision handles it. Oh God, man, my ears are clogged. I'm really curious to see how Activision handles it because, dude, like this game was not supposed to be Modern Warfare 3. Like that is so obvious. This game was not supposed to be Modern Warfare 3, and it could still be good. I think that it's essential. I think it's ultimately just going to feel to everybody who plays it like, yeah, this is basically a premium DLC, but they're going to be charged full price for it, But I don't know. Apparently, they're going to have a campaign. They're going to have zombies. I don't know. Maybe it'll turn out to be better than I'm giving it credit for, but I don't know, man. You gotta wonder, like, how has Activision not had a year where they released a Call of Duty that was just like a complete and utter colossal disaster? I'm like shocked that hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean? Like it's like every year they pump out a brand new Call of Duty, and like you would think that at some point they're just gonna release something that's just like, oh my God, they done fucked up now. but they haven't. And I don't know. I'm curious to see if maybe Vanguard was a huge out. Yeah, that's what's weird. But the thing about Vanguard is, like, based off of my understanding, it was underwhelming, but it was a, like, I don't know, it wasn't like broken or something, you know? It was just like people were like, damn, this is another World War II, you know? But yeah, Vanguard, that was Sledgehammer too. It sold terribly too. What are terrible sales for Call of Duty? It only sold 15 million. Oh man. COD gets you with the marketing. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'll admit I fell victim to I've given into the Call of Duty marketing cycle many times. No doubt about that. Yeah, I'm sure it'll do fine, man. I mean, the thing that, like, the truth is, like, this Modern Warfare 3 game could come in a hot mess, you know, rushed. Doesn't matter. Like, it's got the Modern Warfare 3 name on it. It's got the Modern Warfare name on it. It's going to do fine. You know what? At this point, you know what I think I would want, truthfully, out of Call of Duty? One of the greatest things that I think Activision ever did for Call of Duty was when they realized that Infinite Warfare was going to be a bad game. Like, a bad game isn't, it just wasn't going to do that great, you know, compared to other Call of Duty games. They're like, you know what? Let's remaster Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That was one of the greatest things they ever did because, dude, I was addicted to that shit, dude. That's one of my favorite games. That's when I was, like, really into Call of Duty. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, GOAT game. And they did a perfect job remastering it. Like, they did a perfect job. And they never, and then they remastered Modern Warfare 2, but with no multiplayer. And it's like, what? I want to see them remaster some of their older Call of Duty games with multiplayer, like they did for Call of Duty 4. That would be cool. You're saying Call of Duty 4 remaster was not perfect? It felt way different? I mean, maybe. I didn't get that feeling. I loved it. I was addicted to it. A World at War remaster would, oh yeah, that would be cool. That would be great. Yeah, I don't know, man. I have like a love-hate thing with Call of Duty, truthfully. I feel like it's just not what it once was. But I definitely am a big fan of the classic Call of Duties. But I think that's how a lot of people feel. I mean, there's like a new generation of Call of Duty players out there now. So, Infinite Warfare is underrated AF. I heard I had a good campaign. X Defiant. Yeah, I want to try out X Defiant. Seems like it has some serious potential. But let me move on to one other topic that you guys might find interesting. Have you guys been seeing the discourse surrounding the new Zelda game? Speaking of Zelda, getting a 96 on Metacritic. Have you guys been seeing the discourse about how, like, I mean, there are some people pretty much saying that maybe this game is not deserving of a 96 or 7 on Metacritic. I think it's at a 96, right? I haven't seen many people saying that. Yeah, some people saying it's DLC. But one of the more prominent things that I've noticed more discourse around that I think is, you know, it's catching the attention of more people is the fact that, like, people are pointing out, like, dude, this game is like 720p and runs at like 20 frames per second. And that to me was like, well, I think it depends on where you're coming from. Tread lightly with Nintendo. Well, I mean, dude, like, here's the thing. I'm actually probably going to come to Nintendo's defense a little bit here. So I noticed, you know, there were people basically saying, like, yo, how come Redfall got, like, brutally annihilated for being 30 frames per second, but like everybody is totally fine with Zelda being 30 frames per second. And like to me it's obvious, you know. I was surprised that there was any discourse around this at all, because it's like, well, dude, like people know what type of hardware the Switch is. Like people know that like the Switch hardware is on its last leg, and it's just not like, it's not good. Straight out, like it's just not good. And people are fully anticipating that no matter what game comes out from Nintendo, it's not going to be 60 FPS, and it's not going to be a high resolution. It's going to, you know, it's not going to be great technically. That's the point. I think people are prepared for that, and they've accepted that. That's part of, you know, that's part of the, I'd say that's kind of what you sign up for when you invest in a Nintendo Switch. The difference between that and, you know, a game like Redfall is like, dude, it's a literal opposite with the Xbox console, you know? Like, Microsoft is out here talking about how powerful the Series X is. They're trying to sell people on the power factor of this console and how it's the world's most powerful console. It's like, so yeah, if you market your console that way, you're creating an expectation, and when you fail to meet that expectation, people are going to criticize the hell out of you, and they're going to call you out, and they're going to shit on you for it. That's not what Nintendo did with the Switch. Nintendo, as far as I'm aware, Nintendo's never said anything in their marketing. Like, they've never even remotely hinted at like, we are a powerful console. Like, no, I don't think 720 at 720p at 20 frames though, MBG. Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not playing it. I'm just saying, like, I'm not playing it. But that's because I don't know. I'm not into Nintendo, man. It's like, no offense against the game. No, I don't even. Yo. Hold on. Psst. Chill out. Doing a stream over here. My cat's going berserk on one. Did you guys hear that shit? Going berserk on one another over there. Figuratively literal, you're saying Sony only has 2 games with a 96 on Metacritic. They're Gran Turismo and Uncharted 2. The Last of Us was 95, and God of War 2005/2018 were 94. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Hold on. Oh my God. Sorry about that. I think it's interesting to see the fact that a game that is running at like 720p and cannot consistently maintain 30 frames per second, it is fascinating to me that that's a game that considered a 96 on Metacritic, because I have to ask myself, like, what is the reason for that? Like, what makes it so that people who are reviewing this game seemingly don't care that it's a low ass resolution, that we're well beyond? They don't care that it's a lower frame rate or having, you know, some frame rate issues. You're saying it does consistently maintain 30? Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, that's where I'll admit I haven't looked into it, so maybe it does. I have to ask myself, like, what, and I think that the reasoning is it's obvious. It's painfully obvious. It's just that it's a great fucking video game, dude. Like, people who were playing this game are loving it so much that it's so easy, like, to just completely look past that. And it's interesting because I have seen other people kind of talking about how, like, you see, it's not just about how pretty a game looks, how great the graphics are, or the technical aspects, or the ray tracing, or the high frame rates. And it's like, Yeah, I get like maybe some people are taking shots at the fact that like a lot of PlayStation fans, myself included, like one of the things we kind of always highlight, I mean, even more recently with Horizon Burning Shores, it's like, holy shit. Uh Look at how amazingly, insanely beautiful this game looks. Like graphically, it looks insane. Um Saying the latest Pokemon was literally broken and still got a pass from people MBG. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. You know, somebody said like tread lightly when you're talking about Nintendo. I mean, I'll just be brutally honest. This is just my, maybe this is a hot take, but it's, keep in mind this is from somebody who does not pay that much attention to Nintendo like at all. I get the sense that Nintendo has kind of, Nintendo is in a position in the video game industry where it's kind of like, yeah, they do get a pass. Now that's not me saying that. Like I think that's just everybody pretty much collectively saying like, hey, it's Nintendo. They, you know, that new Zelda 96, you know, like that new Pokemon. Gonna go buy it. Gonna buy both. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know, man. It feels like they're just not really part of the conversation because that's how it is with them. Where it's like they can, but then again, I don't know, man. You know, it's not like people have not been critical of Nintendo in the past. It's a strange thing, really. It's a strange thing. I don't know. I imagine this is just how it's going to be and how it's going to continue. And Corey Lindega, god damn, dude.
Holy shit.
God damn, Corey Lindega with another 20 bomb out of nowhere. W's in the chat for Corey. Bro, thank you so much, man. Corey's always in here with these massive gift bombs. Thank you so much, Corey. Thank you so much, man. God bless that man. The god of memberships. Coming back. Bringing us up to 128, bro. 120. And Exley. Nick Exley again with another 5 bomb.
Your breath.
Following up Corey. Dude, that is... Thank you, guys. Thank you. Amazing. Absolute legends we got here. Seriously, you guys have reached legendary status. Yeah, guys, listen. I'm going to post a link in the chat here. I'm probably going to pin it. Just because anybody who's here, if you don't yet have a membership gift, click this link that I just posted in the chat and or click the icons up top and allow yourself to be gifted. Because as you can see, we have very, very generous people here. So I'm going to, yeah, that's in the chat right now. And we got Luis Silva gifting a membership. Luis, I think this is the first time I'm seeing you gifting, man. I think this is the first time. Love to see it. Shout out to you, man. Crazy Arnold there. Steven Seagal approves of membership gifts. That is awesome, dude. Basically got a membership train going again. Man, you guys are awesome. That's what's so funny sometimes when doing these streams is I never know when to anticipate these membership bomb drops. They just come out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. Love to see it though, guys. Amazing, amazing community we have here. Incredibly generous. You guys definitely made, I gotta say, like, I'm like, man, I hope I could stream today. I hope I could do something for these guys. You guys just make it a, like before I even get to start, you're like, let's make this a successful stream for MBG. That is awesome. RKO out of nowhere. Absolutely. Let me see where we're at now, though. And Nick Exley again, dude. Nick Exley with another 10 bomb and Hellbound 1981 with another 5 bomb. Bro, you get absolute membership train going here. They need their own membership channel badges. I don't think it lets me do that, but yeah, if I could give these guys like specific badges. And Cardinal Music with another 5 as well. God damn, you guys seriously going crazy over here.
breathtaking.
Going absolutely crazy. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. I've completely lost track at this point. I've completely lost track. Where are we at? Where are we at? Let me figure out where we're at. God damn, guys. I think we're at 154. We are 154 members gifted. That is incredible. What an insane stream, dude. I got to say, like, I apologize if I'm not bringing the correct energy levels today. Please don't mistake anything. It's just the effects of me being kind of sick here. And Luis Silva with another membership gift, dude. Thank you, man. Thank you. W's in the chat. This community is amazing. That brings us to 155, dude. 155. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the membership gifts. As I have continued to say, I am fan funded here, and the support that you guys have been showing, it's not almost every stream I do, the support you guys show is through the friggin' roof, and it's incredible, and it means the world to me. It really does. I feel very privileged, very honored to be able to do something like this with such an awesome and generous community. So thank you guys so much for everything you do. I feel like it's just, I know people get tired of me constantly saying thank you, but it's hard not to, man. It feels like it's one of the only things I can do, you know? And CD Gaming coming in, bringing us up to 160. Shout out to you, CD Gaming, with a 5-bomb as well. Another 5-bomb. W's in the chat, guys. I'm gonna have to check. It probably won't update by the end of this stream, but maybe sometime tomorrow, sometime Monday. I think in the coming week it's gonna update. I gotta see where we are with members, dude, because we have so many. We have so many members now. It's wild. It's wild. So thank you guys so much. Seriously. Absolutely incredible community we have here. Amazing. Dude, Corey Lindega even popped by. I did like a random Dead by Daylight stream yesterday. He like popped in. He's like, here's 10 memberships. He just did like a 10 bomb as I'm just sitting there sucking at Dead by Daylight. That's awesome, man. I'll give you one more. Crazy Arnold. Oh, jeez. I wish I had more energy today, man. I feel so bad. I got to be honest. I'll be like totally honest with you guys. I was not expecting this many gifts today, this many membership gifts. I was just like, this will be just a pretty chill stream. Excuse me. Just, try to do what I can. I hate being sick so much, man. Saying rest up, MBG. Yeah, I am. I'm getting enough rest. It's the nature of having a virus, like you get a virus and it does what it's going to do. I can't make it go away any quicker. It's going to linger as long as it needs to, and it'll pass on its own. I'm getting better each day, though. I was definitely worse yesterday. That's for sure. So hopefully the worst is over and tomorrow I'll be a lot better. And I got to say, though, if I was going to get sick this month, I'm glad it's happening now. The last thing that I would have wanted to happen is if Sony really is going to be doing a showcase in the coming weeks. It would have sucked to be sick then. And Corey Lindiga with another fucking 20 bomb. Bro, I can't even keep up. That's 180, bro. That's 180. W's in the chat.
Holy
another
shit.
20 bomb. Bro. I don't know what to say other than bro. The god of memberships keeps going, dude. Holy shit. Thank you, dude. That is Corey, dude, you already hold the record, man. You already hold the record for like most amount of memberships gifted in a single stream, and you're just continuing. You're just keeping it going. Holy shit, dude. That is massive. Absolute generosity coming from this. Oh my God, no way. Bro, Nick Exley. Dude, you just brought it to 200 members. Holy shit. Holy shit. Guys, please, let's get some more W's in the chat. I know there are those who are like, well, I guess the topics are over now, but goddamn, look at these guys. They come in at the beginning, and they're coming in again. Another 20 bomb. Another 20 bomb. Insanity. Dude, I had no idea. I know I keep saying that, and I know I've said that many times, but please trust me when I say that I really did go into the stream thinking, hey, if we can get 25 members gifted, that'd be fantastic. And you're like, let's fucking do 200. Like it's nothing. And PSP Reviewer 100 or PS Previewer 100 also gifting another membership, breaking the 200 mark. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. You're saying, did the memberships stop being distributed? No, the memberships are going to roll over, dude. If you don't see them being distributed in the chat, I did look into this. Michael with a 5 bomb as well, dude. Keeping the train going. Thank you, man. Bring us up to 206 on the day. Oh my God, that is so. Yeah, just to let you guys know, I did look into this further, and based off of my understanding, and believe me, I've looked into this as deeply as I can. These memberships are going to roll over. If you don't see them distributed in the chat, they're basically just building up, and every time somebody clicks opt in, boom, there's a membership ready to go for them. And on top of that, anybody whose memberships expire, boom, there you go. There's another one. Holy shit, Corey, bro. Corey, what are you doing, bro? Another fucking 20 bomb? Holy shit. Guys, anybody in the chat right now, please, if I'm at this point, I think it's clear everybody in here is a member. But if you're listening to this and you're not a member, click the top icons. Opt in to be gifted a membership. Holy shit, dude. Holy another 20 bomb for Corey. Bro, Corey's going absolutely berserk over here. Bring us up to 226. Are you kidding me? Oops, I hit the wrong thing. MBG just subscribed. Yeah, there's a little dancing dinosaur because I didn't customize it. That's a first, bro. This is how you know. This is how you know I'm not 100% today. Sorry about that. I have to just I have to just manually add them. God damn. MBG Rex. Yeah, that was a weird one. I never accidentally clicked that one before. I mean, I got to do a nuke. I got to do a nuke at this point because we broke. I should have done it twice. 226, dude. 226. Corey with another fucking 20 bomb, bro. Corey says, I'm not planning on breaking YouTube again. No, dude, trust me. You've done more than enough. You've done more than enough, man. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. I mean, really though, I gotta give a massive shout out to you guys who consistently show up to these streams, constantly gifting, man. I do worry, like I don't want you guys to like go too crazy or go overboard. I mean, it all helps me, man. It all helps me. The funding not only goes directly to my channel to allow me to do what I do, but you're funding the community as well. You're growing the memberships. You're bringing more people in. And you're also funding me doing more members-only content, which is awesome. So thank you. And CD Gaming with another 5 as well, bro.
You're breathtaking.
Holy shit, this is...
You're all
I don't know how many times I can say holy shit, but... damn, dude. 231. 230. You guys are wild. You guys are absolutely wild. Wow. They're like, yo, MBG's starting to talk about the new Zelda game. Quick, start a membership train. Yeah, dude, I gotta say, guys, one of the things I'm most excited about doing. I mean, I'm excited about a lot of stuff coming up. That's why I was saying, like, I know it sucks to be sick, but dude, if I was gonna get sick this month, I'm glad I'm getting it out of the way now. Because I would have, oh man, I would have been ultimately like just super ultra depressed. I would have been super ultra depressed if I got sick during like a PlayStation showcase. I would have been very sad. I still would have streamed no matter what, but man, that'd be rough. And one of the things I'm really excited about doing, probably I'd say in the next, I'd say 2 weeks. No, probably less than 2 weeks. Maybe like a week and a half. I really am excited to get a cat tower. I've been talking about it, and I know you guys have been waiting for it. So we can get Boss and Leia hanging out with us a lot more. I'll probably have to rearrange my setup just a little bit to accommodate that, but I'm really looking forward to that. MBG, when are you going to host a community game stream with all of us? What exactly do you mean by a community game stream? Do you mean like we play a game together, or do you mean like me streaming a game, like a members only stream, something like that? Because if you're talking about like doing like a community gaming thing, like a members only gaming thing, playing together, so I'm probably going to do that very, very soon. I keep in mind though, like the reason why I'm holding off on it, I'm going to do it, but the reason why I'm like hesitant, or I've been hesitant to do it now, is because the truth is, if we do a community, or not community, but like a member game stream where you guys start to play with me, that's going to come in the form of we're going to play Dead by Daylight, because that's really right now the only actual multiplayer game that I'm playing. And I was thinking about doing it yesterday, but I held off on it. The truth is, like, I'm so eager for Sony to start releasing their. You're saying MVG is going to kill his community on Dead by Daylight? Absolutely. I'm going to hook you in the basement and I'm going to camp you. No, I'm so eager for Sony to start releasing some of their multiplayer games, because to me, that's perfect timing. I'm a mostly PlayStation focused channel. Most of us here are big PlayStation fans. And, you know, them coming out with some multiplayer games, be like, yo, dude, let's do some Last of Us multiplayer sessions together. Let's do some Twisted Metal. Let's do it. And we got Corey coming in with another 5, bro.
You're breathtaking.
Another 5 bomb. Corey W's in the chat.
Breathtaking.
But Corey, man. Take turns going killer. Yeah, we could do that too, man. We could do that too. And that's the thing that'll make it another thing that'll make it really easy for us to play Dead by Daylight together is because since it's a live service game, you know, it's cross-platform. They have player IDs and whatnot. So, you know, what I was thinking about doing is essentially doing some private matches where I give you guys my player ID, and you can add me on Dead by Daylight. And when I'm doing those streams, I'll invite you into a lobby. I mean, we would have to cycle people in and out. That's the only thing that might prove to be a little bit difficult to keep track of. But yeah, I want to give you guys a heads up. Like, anybody who is a member who does play Dead by Daylight, that's something we could definitely do. And I probably won't make that a members only stream, because I think it would be cool, you know, to like, truthfully, I don't know how many people are going to tune in. Like I did a Dead by Daylight stream yesterday, and, you know, I think like 120 people, 150 people showed up. It's a lot of people in general, but I just mean compared to the regular streams, not nearly as many. So I'll probably make it a public stream, but I will be playing with my members at some point. I really was close to doing that yesterday, but because I was so sick, I was like, that's going to be underwhelming. But keep in mind, it's just going to be Dead by Daylight for right now. And I know that a lot of people are like, dude, I don't know I don't know what Dead by Daylight is. I don't care about Dead by Daylight. I get it. It's not a PlayStation game or like a PlayStation exclusive, but I think once Sony starts revealing some of their multiplayer games, we could start cycling those in there. And I think it'll start to suddenly make a lot more sense and a lot more people on the channel will get more interested in it. So, and we got Ray Hugh. Thank you so much, man, for a $20 super sticker. A $20 super sticker, which I've never seen this one before. I've noticed I've been getting more super stickers lately. And it's interesting because YouTube actually classifies them separate from super chats. So I appreciate that, Ray. That's very nice of you. Thank you, man. Saying victory. Yeah, dude. I mean, this was a pretty victorious stream, I gotta say. I was nervous about streaming today because I was like, look, I don't want to... I gotta let my cat out. I was nervous about streaming today because I was like, there's not a ton of topics to discuss. There's a few for sure, at least with PlayStation. And I don't want to talk about the stuff we're going to talk about on the podcast tomorrow. I hope I have enough to talk about on the podcast tomorrow. This week really like burned out quick, didn't it? I feel like this week started so strong with conversation and discussion. And then it just like, again, I think because Zelda was coming out, like everybody was like, all right, well, let's pack it all up and lay low, let Nintendo do their thing. But yeah, I appreciate all the support, guys. Let me go let my cat out real quick. Hold on. But yeah, dude, I'm You're saying nah, members only for playing, not on stream. Jay Shako, you're gonna have to try to type that again in the chat, man. I don't fully understand. Like, I don't know. Are you saying my members would prefer I don't know. To me, I guess a stream would make the most sense, right? Would you guys not want that though? What, like, would you just want? Because the thing is, in Dead by Daylight, there's no voice chat. There's no voice chat, so that's why I figured I would just do a stream. Because that's not like I would be able to talk to you guys anyway. It wouldn't make sense either if I'm versing you guys, Am I going to cover the European Union news drop Monday if it happens? I mean, I would like to. It really depends. It depends on like if they approve it, I don't know what that means exactly. Like, I don't know if that changes much. I do know that if they deny it, if they reject it, that definitely changes. Like, that confirms it's dead. If they approve it, though, it's still one of these situations where it's like, well, they still might be able to. You're saying my traps are looking buff today. Oh, I'm glad you noticed because, dude, earlier in the week, I did some heavy ass. God, I never do them that heavy, but I did some really heavy lateral raises. My traps were fucking killing me, dude, for like 3 days. I felt like somebody smashed it with a hammer. So the fact that you're saying they look bigger means okay. Well, they grew a little bit then. Good news. Speaking of which, I do want to let you guys know this is not. I mean, this is a little bit different. This is talking a little bit about health and fitness. I think I've made a decision on what it is I want to do. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to stick with it, but I actually think I'm going to stop trying to gain mass necessarily. Like, I still want to build as much muscle as I can, but I think I might start trying to not lose weight, but cut, lower my body fat percentage. Because I think my body fat percentage is around like 25%, something like that, maybe a little bit higher than that. And I don't want to go down to a low body fat percent. Like, I don't want to go like 10% or lower. That's pretty extreme. That's really hard, actually. Like, I don't even know that that's healthy. But I want to be at a low enough body fat percentage where I'm looking pretty cut, and vascular. That I think is my goal right now. Also because I don't know, like that's the whole thing. I know a lot about fitness and bodybuilding and taking care of yourself. The one thing that still eludes me though is because I feel like there's just there's so many different answers. Everybody has their own answer where it's like, can you build muscle and burn fat at the same time? And it seems like you just kind of can't, like naturally anyway. I'm not talking about like if you're on drugs or, enhanced or anything, but there's a Narcan Blitzer with another super sticker, bro. That one's great. I've never seen that one where he pulls the hat back and gives the thumbs up. Thank you, Zanarkand. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, man. That's the same character too, actually, in the super sticker. You're saying you're on that David Goggins grind? Yeah, dude, that's funny you should mention David Goggins. I was watching him yesterday. That dude is truly inspirational. I don't know if you guys know who David Goggins is. Go check him out. Yeah, stay hard. I will say though, like I love his attitude. I think he is definitely on the upper extreme where I don't know that people should strive to be just like David Goggins, because David Goggins is like, what is that, bro? What is that? Super sticker crucifixion. That's like a baby with like controller. Oh my God. That's funny, but also slightly disturbing, bro. What is that? Noob. I love it, man. Dude, these super stickers are great. I've never seen them. That I gotta say though, the noob one takes the cake. Cause that one just looks that one's creepy as hell, bro. I love it. Thank you, Crucifixion. It's very nice of you. Saying that sticker is sweet. Yeah, I guess it kind of is, right? It's like the nicest way to visualize a noob. And Corey, man. Corey with another membership gift. Corey with another membership gift, dude. 232. That's insane, man. Thank you, Corey. Thank you. And CD Gaming. CD Gaming with another super sticker saying GG. GG. Yeah, I think that has to be the most common one. What animal is that? Is that a hippo? Is that what that is? I feel like that's a hippo, right? And then Inspector. I love how you guys are like, let's just get a super sticker train going. This is incredible. Inspector Guru with another super sticker, which is a pink person saying, wow. That's crazy, dude. These super stickers are funny as hell. Super sticker train. Yeah, that's funny, man. I appreciate it, guys. That's very nice of you. It's very, very nice of you. But yeah, dude, that's my goal. I'm looking to try to cut down a little bit. I want to obviously continue to gain muscle, but I want to try to go for a more like lean look. Hellbound 1981 gifting another membership as well. Thank you, man. There's a little Arnold laugh for you. That brings us up to 233. 233. Wild. That's insane. You guys are insane. W's in the chat for Hellbound. But another reason why I want to get a little bit more cut is because I want to improve my... I don't like to use the word diet, you know? Oh, there we go. There we go. Corey comes in. Corey comes in with the flex. With the flex super sticker. Although, I think is that a female? I think that's it looks like a I don't know. It could be a male, just with long pink hair, I guess. Like a pink afro. But either way, getting that flex saying boss. This is an Arcane Blitzer coming out with a another one. Dude, you guys legit have a it's just so weird. You guys have a little train going of super stickers. What is that? I think that's the pear, right? It's so like these they're so random. It's a pear, and it looks like they're holding out coffee. Absolutely, man. Thank you, guys. But yeah, I don't like to use the word diet because I feel like diet, I don't know. It just always makes me feel like, because like eating, I don't know. To me, eating it's more of like a lifestyle thing, you know? Like, and Nick Exley with a fox. You guys legit have, I can't believe this is what you guys are doing right now. That's funny, man. A fox saying, good job, Foxhound. Hell yeah, dude. Guys, I wanted to ask you, how would you feel if I got an Arnold display behind me? Like right over here. Or over here. An Arnold display. What do you guys think of that? Too much pizza? Yes. Yes, too much pizza. Too much sugar is what it is. Too much sugar. Too far? Is that going too far? Jay Shako says too far. I don't know. I found this really cool one. Dude, I don't think I could get a Mark Cerny display. I should look that up. I don't think they make that though. I don't think they make a Mark Cerny display. I'm telling you, at some point, it's gonna happen. I can't promise it's gonna happen by the time the showcase happens, but I'm gonna get. I might save it until Sony's getting ready to announce the PS5 Pro. Dude, I'm gonna get a Mark Cerny cardboard cutout. I'm gonna fucking do it. It's gonna be amazing. I want to do it. But yeah, dude, I found this really cool Arnold display. It's an inspiring one too, I think. It's a cool one. Jerome, you're saying, should Sony aim to be more like Nintendo instead of battling Xbox? I think it will take them further going against someone that knows what they're doing. I mean, I think that's kind of... I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what Sony's already doing. To me, it's clear that Sony, because they're the market leader, they feel like they have to try to perform in all different areas, you know, like Sony, I don't think is going to try to compete with Nintendo in the handheld space, but they're going to try to compete with Nintendo in terms of what if we try to make some of the highest quality first party, highest rated first party games and also sell 20 million copies. I mean, Sony doesn't necessarily sell as many units as Nintendo does, definitely not, but they're, doesn't mean they can't get there. So I think like that's where they compete with Nintendo, having a really, really strong standout first party. But I think they also do need to keep their eyes on other areas. Like, you see what they're doing with PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium, and we know that they're getting involved in cloud gaming to a heavy degree, mobile gaming, now going to PC. These are all areas that Microsoft is pursuing as well, but, Sony's not just going to let Microsoft carve that out alone. I think Sony's just making sure not to put all their eggs in one basket. I think that, like, at this point in time, that's pretty much the number one thing is Sony's making sure we're not going to put all of our eggs in one basket, because that's when things can go wrong, really. Because if you have all your eggs in one basket, and we've all seen what happens. So I think Sony's just trying to be like, look, we need to be ready to pivot at any moment. Like right now, our bread and butter, big AAA single player narrative driven experiences, we're still going to have them. We got great hardware, but we're continuing to build PlayStation Plus. We're doing PlayStation productions. We're doing more PC games, or bringing more games to PC, and we're doing live service games. So I think what Sony's doing is perfectly fine, honest. I think they're going to fail in some areas, but I think it just comes with the territory. I don't think Sony should try to be... I know some people feel that Sony should be try to be more like Nintendo, but I don't know, man. Nintendo, you could argue that Nintendo could run into problems in the future because they really are behind the curve, behind the curve. They're not. I think Nintendo basically is just like, look, we have must play games and we're just going to rely on them entirely. Like, that's all it's going to be. And I understand why people would want Sony to do that as well. But, Sony has bigger ambitions in a way where they're not like, it's not, hey, we want to have the best selling console. It's like, we want to have the best selling console and we want to expand horizontally to a degree as well. Like, Nintendo is doing that too. Like, they have a couple mobile games. They have a really successful movie. I don't know. I mean, it's tough, man, because I think with Sony, they have the PlayStation Network, they have the PlayStation Store, they have the infrastructure, and now they're working on live service games. I don't think they could be like Nintendo, even if they wanted to. I think in a way, Sony really is kind of doing their own thing, and they're doing something that I don't think Nintendo could do, frankly. And I think they know that, and that's why they're doing it. I think they're doing something that Microsoft is trying to do, but I think Sony might end up being more successful at it. That's my take on it anyway, man. I mean, a lot of people have a problem with Nintendo. I mean, the one thing I don't like about Nintendo is like they seem like they can be straight up just assholes to their fan base, like, and I feel like the fan base is just kind of like accepted, like, yep, that's Nintendo. I could be wrong about that, but I just I saw how like, who was it, like Alana Pierce's stream? She was like streaming on Twitch, and she was like showing footage that she was allowed to show. It was like normal like press footage of the Zelda game, and like Nintendo had her stream like not her stream, but like her channel banned for something like she didn't do anything wrong, and it's just like, yeesh. Like, it's just it to be honest, that's one of the reasons why I don't really care to like I've noticed too that I saw that there were like pretty well-known YouTubers coming out, and apparently like their channels were getting like in a shit ton of trouble out of nowhere, like completely demonetized because they like, I don't know, I think they like mod certain Nintendo games, and Nintendo was like, nope. You're saying they're excuse me, they're ridiculously punitive. Yeah, with their IP, it's weird. It's weird to me, This is I feel like I understand, like, you have to protect your IP, you have to make it known, like, where the limits are and what the rules are. But I just, I think they take it too far. Because, like, dude, imagine if Sony was like that. Like, I wouldn't be able to do, like, shit, Like, I don't know, man. I'm grateful Sony's not like that. I really am. Because that would be really bad for my channel. Like, really, really, really bad. Oh, I'm out of coffee. I'm going to go take a drink of my coffee. I was like, oh, I drank it all. Nintendo definitely does. You're saying Sony only blacklists bad reviews. I don't know. Do they? Like, I feel like what did Sony blacklist oh my god, what's the name of that Metro, is that their name? I forget. There's like this reviews site or whatever where like they just, no matter what Sony puts out, they're like, yeah, you're getting a low score. Like you know what I mean? It's not a fair review. And I think that like outlets like that get Stevivor. There we go. Yeah, not Metro. Stevivor. Yeah, like shit like that. Stevivor should definitely be blacklisted because they're a joke, you know? Like it's just they're just purposely being dicks. So I get that. I get that. But yeah, I mean, oh man, I don't want to talk too much about my thoughts on Sony right now, only because I'm planning on, I'm doing the podcast tomorrow too. I want to make sure I have things reserved to discuss and talk about. But yeah, the discourse, I don't know, just to get back to, I was talking about this a little bit earlier. I don't have much else to say on it, but the discourse around Zelda, and it's kind of weird to me because it's just like I said, man, I feel like when Nintendo releases a big AAA game, it's just like first party game. It's just like, yeah, we know what's going to happen. But if I had to guess why Zelda is getting such great reviews, it probably is simply because it's that good of a game. It's that fun to play, and that's the thing that stands out the most to reviewers and whatnot. So, he's saying I kind of like that Nintendo doesn't give an F. They blacklisted Kotaku. Yeah, true. But then again, who cares about Kotaku? Well, yeah, guys, I'm not going to end the stream just yet. You're saying I missed some super chats? Oh, okay. I apologize for that. Yeah, the member train does that sometimes. Okay, the zombie fanatic. You're saying, MBG, what do you expect the next Switch to look like? Well, truthfully, I expect the next Switch to look pretty much identical to the current Switch. But would that be problematic? I don't know. Dude, Nintendo's got to be careful, bro. Nintendo's got to be careful because if they're going to make like another Switch and it's going to look just like the current Switch and they're going to keep the Switch name, they got to make sure they don't do another Wii U situation. That would be bad. But I honestly, if I had to guess, I think it's going to look just like, they're going to call it the Switch U. Oh my God. Corey, you heading out now, man? I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate everything you've done today, and honestly, just everything you continue to do for each stream, man. So I hope to see you back here tomorrow for the podcast. Appreciate it, dude. Enjoy the rest of your day. Everybody give Corey a big shout out. He dropped like multiple 20 bombs today. Thank you, man. But yeah, the next Nintendo console I'm expecting to basically be like a I'm expecting it to look a lot like the Switch again. The naming of it is what I'm more interested in. So I appreciate that, the zombie fanatic. And Jerome Montgomery, I missed your super chat here. You're saying Nintendo can relate and remake games. Or sorry, you're saying Nintendo can retell and remake games and spin off, no pushback, 30 million sales. I wonder if Sony or Xbox, if they did multiple spin-offs or if their of their IP, if people would care. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Is it just seems like Nintendo kind of, I don't know, man, they get a pass on some things. I'm not saying that as like a hater. It's the truth. Like Nintendo can do exactly that. Like they can just keep kind of, to a degree, making the same game, right? And that's, I don't know, it's not necessarily a bad thing because, I mean, I look at like God of War, for example. Like, God of War Ragnarok in a lot of ways was the same game in a lot of ways as God of War 2018, but like with a new story and different dialogue and I'm not trying to like dumb it down too much because it's not, but it's just, there were people basically saying like, is it too much of the same? And it's like, well, it's a sequel and it depends on what people are okay with and what they're not okay with. And I think a lot of times it just simply comes down to if it's not broke, don't fix it. And people have, I think gamers have proven over the decades that like they're fine with that. I mean, we just talked about Call of Duty earlier in the stream. That's a perfect example. You know, like if you're gonna call criticism, like if people are gonna criticize Nintendo for doing that type of stuff, well, what about Call of Duty? What about sports games? I mean, even to a degree, some of Sony's games. You know, it's like I think it's just it as simple as when you get a winning formula. If it's not broke, don't fix it, and you know, just iterate and refine as much as you can. Innovation is important for sure, but there has to be a balance between the two, I think. That's how I feel about it. There has to be a healthy balance. It's fine to iterate. It's fine to have sequels. It's fine to keep doing the same thing if people like it. But also, and I think Nintendo does that to a degree. I think Sony does too. I think Microsoft is trying. Hopefully they will. Oh, sorry to pop my ears there. So I appreciate that super chat, Jerome. Let me make sure I didn't miss any more. Rashdan V2 saying, if you liked Horizon, you'll like Zelda. I believe that. You know, that's the thing. Horizon's not my favorite game of all time. It's not my favorite game of all time. I've enjoyed it a lot. I'll be honest. I feel like sometimes with Horizon, I start to get the feeling like, how much of a sucker am I for those beautiful graphics, really? But I believe it. I mean, I've heard that. I've heard comparisons before between Zelda and Horizon. Figuratively literal, you're saying. Oh, sorry, I actually did read that. I think I'm caught up now. The Genius 200, you're saying, getting my copy of Zelda soon. Stoked. My gripe is the trash hardware and how they get a pass for it. Loved Breath of the Wild, but it was far from a masterpiece. Good time to be a gamer between this and Final Fantasy. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. That's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to play Zelda. It makes me feel strange because it is one of those games where it's like, you know, I feel like people kind of almost judge you if you don't play it, but I can't, like, dude, I have not been into Nintendo in forever. Like, I don't know why. Like, it doesn't appeal to me, man. And I will be honest, like, I am maybe one of those people where it's like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not trying to play at like 720p 30 frames. I'm really not. But I mean, if it was, you know, if the game was good, maybe I wouldn't care. But I don't know, man. I'd have to think about that. Saying you never had a thing for Nintendo either. I don't get it. Truthfully, like I don't, that's like, I don't mean that in any offensive way. I just don't get it, you know? Codename X coming in with 5 membership gifts, bro. Codename, I think this is the first time I've seen you gifting memberships, bro. Thank you, dude. Let's get some W's in the chat for Codename X. Bring in a 5 bomb.
You're breathtaking.
Keeping this thing going.
You're all breathtaking.
Bringing us up to 238, man. 230. That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of new members. Thank you, guys. Amazing. Love to see it. Nick, you're saying you haven't had a Nintendo since the SNES. I hate saying the SNES. The SNES. The SNES. Oh, that sounds horrible. Why does anybody call it that? The SNES. You know what's weird is like, even when I was younger and I was like getting into games, even then Nintendo like didn't appeal to me that much. Like I played Nintendo games. Yo, I want to ask you guys, Mario 64. You tell me if you agree with this. There's something kind of creepy about that game, right? Like, is it just me? Is it just me who feels that way? I don't know. I remember playing that game. There's like certain areas of that game, like just something about it. I don't know what it is. It's just got like this kind of there's just this underlying like eeriness to it. You're like, what? Is it just me? I don't know. Saying yes. Yes. But I liked it. I'm not saying like yo, Mario 64 is a horror game. I'm not saying that. It has maybe it's the echoey ambiance. Yeah, dude, something about it. Because I remember playing that game when I was really, really young, and I was just like, I wasn't creeped out by it, like as in like, oh my god, I don't want to play this. But I just remember like I felt a little bit unsettled, just a little bit. But then again, it could just be because it was like, this is Vietnam flashbacks of toothy pianos. Oh my god, dude. It could be because of like, I don't know, it was the early days of 3D, and it just kind of comes with the territory. I don't know. I feel like if you look back at early 3D games, they're just kind of creepy in a way, some of them. I don't know what it is, but they are. Maybe I'm a weirdo. But yeah, dude, I want to see how Final Fantasy does. A lot of people are very hyped for Final Fantasy. I want to see how Final Fantasy reviews. Is it going to review it? I think it's safe to say Final Fantasy 16 is going to review 90 or above, right? Silent Hill from the Silent Hill 1 for PS1. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like a lot of these horror games, I think, still hold up pretty well in terms of creep factor. But I just think it's funny how they're just, to me, what's even creepier than a game that's meant to be creepy is a game that's definitely not meant to be creepy, but there's just something creepy about it. You can't quite figure it out. Oh, man. Well, guys, let me see here. See if there, oh, yeah. Not to bring Arnold up again, but did you guys see that apparently Netflix has a new show coming out at the end of this month? And I haven't watched anything on Netflix in months, but they got a new show coming out and Arnold's starring in it. Did you guys hear about this? Called like Fubar or something? I think it's coming out on like the 25th. Dude, I'm going to watch that. Yeah. Arnold's making his comeback. Dude, that's crazy. Like, to me, that's crazy. Arnold's like 75, bro. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hell yeah. No Arnold MVG, spare us. No. No. He will be part of the channel. Arnold will slowly integrate into the channel. Dude is so old. Yeah, he is, man. That's why and yeah, there's a documentary coming out as well. Yeah, I'm going to react to that with my members. We're going to watch the documentary. Hey, man, if it wasn't for Arnold, I wouldn't have this YouTube channel. Believe that. Believe that. If it wasn't for Arnold, I wouldn't have this YouTube channel. Arnold inspired me, man. He made me believe in myself. He made me realize I could go do it. I got to go after it. I can do it. Arnold should be your co-host. Dude, I want to... So I noticed Arnold on Twitter. Arnold has like 5 million Twitter followers. I wanted to see if I could get like a type of shout out from him. But the only way I could figure out to do it is and it's probably not actually him doing it. He, probably has people running his social media. But he would quote tweet anybody who was talking about using his app on the App Store. He has like some kind of fitness app. I don't know. Maybe I'll try. I don't know. I'm not really into that type of stuff, but I was about to like use that fitness app and just like on my Twitter randomly one day be like, yo, Arnold, I use your fitness app. It's fucking amazing. And he's going to like quote tweet it. And I'm going to be like, I did it. I made it. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to be acknowledged by Arnold. We made it, guys. We did it. But I feel like that's such a cheap way, Special guest Arnold Schwarzenegger on my channel. So Arnold, do you play video games? But yeah. I don't know why I just thought of that randomly. I think it's because I was surprised to see it. Oh, you know what? I didn't talk about this because this just reminded me. Arnold was actually featured in Mortal Kombat as a guest character, as a Terminator, and that is awesome. But did you guys see all the leaks for this new Mortal Kombat game? Mortal Kombat 1, apparently, is what it's going to be called. And I don't know, man. Like I'm like thinking, is it? I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat is going to be announced at the PlayStation Showcase. And yeah, like that's the thing. They're good. So I've always enjoyed the storyline of Mortal Kombat, but man, it's convoluted as hell. It started to get like crazy, you know? So if they're going to completely reboot it, that actually gets me pretty excited. Because if they're going to start fresh, I would love to see, a lot of time travel stuff. It would get pretty confusing. If they're going to reboot the storyline of Mortal Kombat, I'm actually pretty damn interested to see where they go with it. Excuse me. But then, like, Ed Boon is trying to come out here and screw with people. Ed Boon is like, guys, we never even confirmed it was going to be Mortal Kombat. And he's like trying to screw with people. But I think it's obvious. Like, yeah, it's going to be Mortal Kombat. It's going to be called Mortal Kombat 1. Some people were wondering if it was going to end up being like a PlayStation exclusive. No. At least based off the leaks, it's going to be a multi-plat title. Although I think I wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation has the marketing rights to it. Who's your favorite Mortal Kombat character? Do I remember Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks? Hell yeah. Dude, you know what Mortal Kombat I think was underrated? Armageddon. It wasn't the best, but that shit was underrated, dude. I remember like playing that storyline in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and I always thought it was like absolutely insane how they had they had like 70 characters or something, and you could create your character and you could do custom fatalities. I thought that was the coolest shit. Some of my favorite characters from Mortal Kombat, I love Scorpion. I think Liu Kang is my favorite. I think Liu Kang, I love Liu Kang because he's clearly like inspired by Bruce Lee, and I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan. Johnny Cage is awesome too. Yeah, he's fun. I feel like I always got pretty good with Scorpion and Liu Kang. So, do you like Martial Law? Absolutely. Martial Law's he's my guy in Tekken. I love Martial Law even more because he's even more like an homage to Bruce Lee. And I saw the trailer that they put out for his character for Tekken 8. Oh my god, looks amazing. Looks amazing. Yeah, I'm not the best at fighting games at all. I have to always take time to get good. Like Noob Saibot, Raiden. Yeah, dude, I feel like they're making these characters, and at least in Tekken 8, they're making the characters too ripped. They're too ripped, bro. They're like they're on so much trend, you know? It's not natural. You need to make reactions to fighting game trailers. Yeah, I'm planning on getting Tekken 8. I'm planning on getting Mortal Kombat. I don't know though. It's been a long time since I played any fighting games. I feel like any skill I may have had, I very likely completely lost. It's been a long time. Did I see the Kojima PT tweet? I did. Yeah, we talked about it. Am I going to try Street Fighter 6? You know, that's the thing, man. I'm not into Street Fighter. I might. My wife is a big Street Fighter fan, so I might. But I don't know why. Like, for some reason, I just could never get into Street Fighter. I don't know what that says about me. I don't know. Like, I've always loved, I grew up on Tekken and Mortal Kombat. Street Fighter to me, I feel like that's a game I should have grown up on, but I never did. Like I just never got into it. What's my wife's favorite character? Actually, I'd have to. Is it? I feel like it might. I feel like it's Chun-Li. I'll have to ask her. I think it's Chun-Li. Dragon Bat Spidey. You're saying, honestly, I'm way more hyped for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth than for Final Fantasy 16. You know, I don't think that's really a hot take. Truthfully, I think that a lot of people, well, I don't know that a lot of people, but surely there are people who feel the same way. If there's anybody else in the chat who feels that way, I think there are a lot of people who feel like excited for Final Fantasy 16, but definitely are, anticipating Rebirth a lot more. I think I'm one of those people, truthfully, because I played Final Fantasy VII Remake and it was fucking awesome, dude. It was awesome. And this is my first Final Fantasy experience, so because of that, it's always going to be special to me. But I'm like really interested to know where they go next. I think that it's just right now I'm just purely I feel like Rebirth is still so far away to a degree that I'm just so focused on 16. I'm so interested to get it to feel to experience how the combat in Final Fantasy 16 feels. I'm really excited for that because it looks really good, man. It looks really fun. Like, and that's what I'm going to be comparing it to. I'm going to be comparing Final Fantasy 16's combat to 7 Remake. And I thought Final Fantasy 7 Remake's combat was amazing. Like, it was addicting. It was really good. Like, to me, it was shockingly good. And the fact that they're like going full blown, like, action RPG. But yeah, I think that's fair, dude. I can't wait to see more Rebirth as well. I wonder if it'll show up at a PlayStation showcase. I feel like it definitely could. Yeah. I could see like a back-to-back little Final Fantasy section during a PlayStation showcase where they show another new trailer for Final Fantasy 16 and then follow it up with another trailer for Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. That'd be great. So I appreciate that super chat, man. And Maximilian Pegasus 88 saying, you should at least give the Street Fighter 6 free demo a try and see if you like it. Oh yeah, that's true. I totally forgot about that. They do have a demo. Yeah, I could probably do that. Why not? Is it 2-player though? Or is it like a single player demo? Saying it's available now. Yeah, I'll have to download it and give it a try. Single player? Okay. It's short. I like that. I like the fact that it's short. I feel like demos should be short. I don't like the idea of long demos because it's like I don't want to get too into the game, because I'm like, damn it, I gotta stop. I need just enough. Saying new BioShock PlayStation exclusive. Oh yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be a surprise announcement. There isn't another BioShock in development. It could be PS5 exclusive. Could be. Metal Gear Solid demos were great back in the day. Yeah. Dude, I know that this is expecting too much, but I'm just going to allow myself to dream big. I'm not expecting it, but I can still dream about it. I can fantasize about it, dude. So we pretty much know that Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake is going to be announced at the PlayStation Showcase, right? I know it's not going to happen. But oh my God, I wish it would. Like, a part of me gets frustrated because I feel like, why not? Like, the Christian Bale, American Psycho, where it's like, why the hell not? Like, that's exactly how I feel, where it's like, I already know we're getting the Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, but man, how many of you guys remember what it was like to buy Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence. And I don't know, for me that was a special game release because I was like, I had played, I don't know how long it was. So I know Metal Gear Solid 3 came out in 2004. What did Subsistence come out the next year? Right? Pretty sure that's how it went. I remember I played Metal Gear Solid 3 when it first came out, and I was just like, this is like the fucking greatest game I ever played. I just remember like when I was done playing that game, I'm like, I can't even believe what I just experienced. But then I saw that Konami they were getting ready to release Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, and I think this was my first. I'm trying really hard to remember, dude. I think Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence might be the first time that I actually started playing online multiplayer, and it was specifically because it was like they were like, "Hey, we have a online multiplayer component to Metal Gear Solid 3," and I think if I remember correctly, I like told my mom, I was like, we need to get like internet. I think it was like dial up at the time. I was like, I need it like set up in my room or something. Like, and I had to explain it. I didn't even know anything about it myself. I actually needed my cousin's help to get it all set up because we wanted to play this game together. But I remember I was like, I absolutely need to play this. And dude, like, Metal Gear Solid 3's online was so good, dude. So good. Like it disturbs me how few people experienced the greatness that was Metal Gear Online for like the first one they made for Metal Gear Solid 3. And that's why I'm sitting here thinking like, I know it's not realistic and it definitely isn't going to happen. But Jesus, if they were to announce, here's Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, and we're bringing back the online component, I'd fucking punch a hole through my screen accidentally out of excitement. I would suplex my chair, bro. Like, I would be so fucking hype. And I know that's not going to happen, but that's what makes me sad is that, like, they could do that. They could do that so easily. And yeah, that's the thing, dude. You're saying you were mad AF when they closed it. That's dude, think about this. Konami had two online components to Metal Gear. They had an online component to Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, and I played that shit on PS2. And then they did it again with Metal Gear Solid 4, where they did Metal Gear Online 2. And both times, they shut it the fuck down, dude. They shut both online services down. Like, for like no good, because they couldn't get hackers under control. It was so crazy because these were and there are still people out there who keep these services alive. Like, you can actually, if you really want, there's a small tight-knit community of people who they did it, that they're like, fuck it, I'll do it myself, and they like brought the game back to life. I think for both Metal Gear Solid 3 Online and Metal Gear Solid 4 Online. And like, I'm telling you, if you ever played these multiplayer games, they were ahead of their time, man. Like Konami really had something special that they could have grown. And it's just so crazy today to think that, like, we're in the live service era of gaming. I'm like, dude, Konami, get cooking, man. Get cooking on that Metal Gear, like, online comeback. Do it, because I'm telling you, like, if they implement a lot of the same things development wise that they did for these games, they would be huge successes, I think. MGS live service, free to play. I mean, if they could do it. I hate to say it, but don't do it's tough, man, because Metal Gear Solid 3 Online had MGS3's mechanics. Metal Gear Solid 2 Online had MGS4's mechanics. There is Metal Gear. You can play Metal Gear Online 3 right now, I'm pretty sure, unless they shut that down too, on PS5 and Xbox Series X. right? I need to know, is anybody here playing that? Are there people who still play that game? Metal Gear Online 3 was not the same, man. And that shipped with Metal Gear Solid 5. Codename X, you're saying my most anticipated game by far is Payday 3. Interesting. I never got really into Payday. I tried playing it. I couldn't quite figure it out. I sucked at it. I don't know what it was. Something just didn't mesh with me. But I'll probably give Payday 3 a shot. I saw that they were teasing it recently. Yeah, I can't wait to see the first proper trailer they bring out for it, like gameplay wise. They have a lot riding on that game. So, anybody here? SD, you said yup. Is anybody here actually playing, or have you played in the past 30 days Metal Gear Online for MGS5? Bro, I'm about to do a member only. I'm about to try to play this Metal Gear Online 3 with my members. I'm about to do that shit. Because I'm pretty sure that, and isn't that just like the saddest reality, dude? Like, isn't that the saddest reality where Konami shuts down the multiplayer servers for Metal Gear Solid 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4, but the servers for Metal Gear Online 3 for MGS5, it just wasn't the same type of online experience. Some people thought it was too casualized, and those servers are still up. But I bet you nobody's playing. I bet you nobody's playing, and that's sad to me because it's like they just can't. Like they don't seem to understand. Like, you have something great, you just got to grow it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, man. You guys just don't know. Those who don't know, man. If you know, you know. Metal Gear Solid. The memories, bro. The memories. Good fucking times. Like, really, though, like, when I sit back, I wish I would have, like, recorded myself or something, or had somebody record. I don't know. Something, man. My PS2 connected to my CRT, whatever, television. Playing Metal Gear. Dude, I remember I love to play the sneaking game mode where you play as Big Boss and 7 other players have to hunt you down. It's fucking incredible, dude. Those like the best days of gaming for me. I miss that shit. You're saying you play MGO2 on PC now. That's incredible, Zone X. How is it, man? How is it? I'll be honest. I remember with the later days of Metal Gear Online 2, I started to get kind of frustrated with like the box popping and stuff, which is so funny because that's like the most Metal Gear ass like meta mechanic that people would incorporate. But yeah, that's crazy that people still play it, man. Zonex, were you there? Saying it works perfectly well. How does it hold up, dude? How does it hold up? All the DLC characters work? Oh, that's awesome. I might be looking through rose-tinted glasses, mechanics speaking, like gameplay-wise. Does it still feel like, I don't know, does it feel outdated at this point? Or does it feel like it actually still holds up pretty well? 35 players daily. God damn. Dude, those are some of the most dedicated hardcore players. That's not a lot, but that is some dedication. It still holds up, to be honest. I believe it. Like, I don't know, man. I think it would probably need some tweaking a little bit today. Oh, fuck, man. Fuck. Great times, dude. I remember when I would play Metal Gear Online 2, I would try to do a CQC build, and my favorite thing to do was to just try to CQC people before they headshot me. I failed almost every time. But man, when I got that one successful CQC knockout and kill, I felt like I did it. MBG, download it on your PC and let's play. I don't know, man. It's not, see, that would involve me having to get involved with PC gaming, you know. I probably could. I know my PC could run it. I know it could. I'll think about it, man. I'll think about it. I'll have to see, dude. That's how like I'm afraid. You know what I'm afraid of, honestly? Saying trust me, you'll love it. The only thing I'm afraid of, because I don't know, that's the thing. I feel like I could bring some pretty good attention to it, man. Like I'm pretty sure if I did that and I like started showcasing it on my channel, I could at least get like, I feel like at least maybe 50, maybe not 50, maybe that's too much, but just a portion of my audience to be like, you know what, yo, MBG's, he's doing this crazy shit to get Metal Gear Online 2 running, and I'm gonna like try to bring people over to it. Like let's go. Let's revive this game, bro. Let's send Konami a message. We'll give you our money. Just make the fucking game. Saying, dude, I hope the MGS3 remake has an MGO1 remake. Yeah. It sounds too good to be true. Sounds too good to be true. I'll think about it, man. I'll definitely think about it. Let me just ask you one last thing, Zone X. How difficult is it to get it running on PC? Because like I remember I looked into it a long time ago, and it really intimidated the hell out of me because I was like, I don't know, dude. The prospect of playing Metal Gear Online 2 sounds amazing again, but I was so confused by the process to actually properly get it running. That's the only thing that's still kind of holding me up a bit. Because I'm not the most tech savvy person, you know? Like, I feel like I would totally fuck up trying to get it running properly on my PC. MBG, is it a PS2 game? If so, I can help setting up emulation with the base game. It's actually a PS3 game, which is like, do I have a PS3 still? No, I do not. The tutorial would only take you 2 minutes. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I might look into it, dude. I wanted to say though, I am afraid you'll be playing, dude. I'll be playing against those 30 players. I would, and those 30 players are so hardcore, dude. I'll get fucking wrecked. I'll get absolutely wrecked. But you know what I'm most afraid of though? It's been so many years. Like the last time, I can't remember the last time I played Metal Gear Online 2. I think the server shut down in like 2012. So I definitely didn't play it then. I stopped before that, but I'm afraid I'm gonna, dude, we will eat you in sneaking mission mode. Yeah, I'm gonna go in thinking I'm all good, bro. I'm afraid I'm gonna end up playing it and being like, shit, it doesn't hold up as well as I remember, you know? That's the only thing I'm afraid of. But yeah, dude, I had to just say that last thing here because I'm seriously so hyped about Metal Gear coming back. I hope Konami has really big plans. I really do. Like, you see the type of plans that Konami has for Silent Hill where they're like, we're going all in. I want to see them do that for Metal Gear as well. Did I ever play SOCOM 2? I played a little bit of SOCOM 2. My cousin was the one who was heavily into SOCOM. Truth be told, I did play it for a little while, but I think I just like sucked at it. I couldn't get good at it. But I liked what they were going for. I was still too new to the whole multiplayer scene, and I feel like SOCOM was a little bit more hardcore. Codename X, thank you, man. Gifting another membership. Shout out to you, Codename X. It brings us up to 239. Insane. You guys are crazy. But yeah, I just, when we saw Konami come out with Silent Hill and they're like, we're going all in with Silent Hill. We're doing like 5 different games or whatever, 4 different games and a movie. I want to see them do the same thing for Metal Gear where it's like, we're doing a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. We got a Metal Gear Solid collection. We're doing a Metal Gear Online, fucking free to play, whatever. I don't care. Like, I just want to see what they want to do. Maybe, who knows? Are they going to do Metal Gear Solid 6? I don't know. I don't know that people are ready for that. But I don't know. I'd be willing to see Metal Gear Solid 6. I'd be afraid, I'd be nervous, but all right, guys. I think that's gonna do it for the stream, though. It's beyond the 3-hour mark, and truth be told, dude, I'm drained right now. I'm surprised. I mean, you guys got me talking about Metal Gear somehow, or maybe I just started talking about it. That always gives me a little energy boost. But yeah, dude, I got it. Saying, yo, MBG, I got the tutorial for MGO2 for you. Okay. We'll have to, yeah, maybe send it to me or something, man. I'm assuming I can just look it up, though, too, right? Just wait for Factions 2. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to end up being like, no thanks to Factions 2 or Last of Us multiplayer. I got Metal Gear Online 2 on my PC. Got that 2008 gaming energy, going on. But yeah, guys, before I head out, as you know, I just want to give you guys a massive, massive thank you. Yeah, it's been an incredible stream. Devil Shooter saying, MBG, great stream. Look at your email. I'll send you some good websites for PS3 emulated games. All right, dude. I appreciate that. And yeah, I just want to give a big shout out, as always. I started this stream again, guys. Like, I started the stream today with a goal of 25 new members, and somehow, some way, you guys came in and brought us up to pretty much 240, 239. That is insanity. But then again, this community is incredible, amazingly generous. You guys always show up. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for keeping this community engaged. And thank you for gifting this community to an extreme extent. And thank you for allowing me to just hang out with you guys and chat, do these streams. And I plan to do Press X podcast tomorrow. Obviously, I don't plan to necessarily talk about these exact topics. We'll see what we can discuss tomorrow, and we'll see what next week brings on top of that. So just hit that like button on your way out, guys. And yeah, I'll hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. So enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And until next time, guys, take care.